3 o'clock on a Wednesday afternoon. Welcome aboard the Postgame show alongside Terry Ford. I'm Jay Phillips. Our world has been turned upside down here at 107.5 The Game because somebody, I'm assuming it's our engineer Randy, maybe it was Jeff Haley, has brought in an Avengers pinball machine. And it's not like one of those flimsy, cheapo kinds, man. It's the real deal. It's the real deal. And I just scored like 3,500,000 points. So I don't know if that's good or not.
You can exchange that for like a.
Oh no, I don't get squat out of it.
Get your craft beer card.
Hey, if you want to give me one,
I say, man.
I was gonna go steal one later this week anyway.
Hey, wouldn't it be funny if you hit a bonus and craft beer card, just start shooting out of it?
That'd be great. I'd rather have cash.
Oh, absolutely, any day of the week.
But and we have one of those claw machines, and you won,
dude. I'm on a heater with that thing.
I feel better about my 3.5 million Avengers pinball points than I do your plastic. I'm not even sure what that. I don't think that's a duck. Here, look.
What is that thing?
If y'all are watching on YouTube. It looks like a little duck, but its face is more like, again, this is going to focus, maybe an owl? I don't know what that is. See, it's got like ducks don't have ears, man.
Yeah, maybe.
It does have a bill, but most birds have bills. In fact, I think all birds.
I mean, could this be a kind of creepy, weird kind of? I
think it's an owl. I think it's I think it's a dowel.
A dowel.
Yeah, but not the construction kind. All right.
I was on a heater, man. I got one for. Snagged one for Tyler earlier.
What else is in there? Is there any cash?
Just ducks, man.
Oh. Well, why didn't somebody put some cash in there and make it, worth our while?
We wouldn't. They put it in one of those clear, like, egg things where you can't pick it up.
Yeah.
They just tease you with the money. Like at the carnival, the fair.
Yeah.
You know they do that.
Well, all the ones at the fair, they probably got motor oil on all of them.
Or the $100 bill has the Barker's face on it, or whatever.
Nothing's gonna sticking to those things. Anyway, I'll tweet out a picture later of the
pinball machine.
Pinball machine. It's cool.
Yeah,
I was like, okay.
I will tell you what.
Does the company not want us to do our job? Who's doing this?
I haven't played pinball since Skateland when I was like 13 or 14 years old.
Oh, come on. You've played a pinball.
No, I haven't. Only one time. My family took me for my birthday to this seafood place in Maryland, and when we went, they had a whole floor of like old school pinball machines and old school games like when we were younger.
Yeah, sure.
So I partook up there. That's the only time since I was 14 I played pinball.
I
like pinball.
I love a room that's an 80s style arcade, man.
Oh, absolutely. So
they got one out at Craft and Draft Irmo. Yeah. I was like, whoa, this is an arcade. This isn't just some games. I love that stuff.
I came down here today because I heard it was here.
Yeah.
And I went over there and said, what the heck? I'll play a ball. One ball turned into about 60.
Oh, sure. No, listen, pinball's great. My buddy Michael Harrison had a pinball machine at his house, and it was from like the 60s. And it was the best. Every time I went over there, which was a lot. I was like, all right, going upstairs, play pinball later.
Pinball's all right, man.
After a while, he was in my wedding, I was in his wedding, so we're that kind of friends, right? And I was like, yeah, I'm going to play pinball for a bit, man.
Pinball's cool.
I'll see you later.
This is part of the, renovation of the first floor into what's
the only thing is, I think somebody above our pay grade is testing us.
Well, we're going to lose. You know that.
Well, but are they going to? Are we going to lose our job, or are we going to lose the pinball machine? This is one of those temptations. They're like, let's see what they do with the pinball machine. I got a great
idea, just to test it.
Yeah.
I say we send Dave out there to play pinball and see what happens.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, Dave's reflexes aren't what they used to be, but he can probably play.
I want to see what they do. Though, are they going to then take the pinball machine away, or would they take Dave away?
I don't know. I'll take a picture and send it out. It's cool, man.
It's very cool.
It's cool.
It's fun, man.
Yeah. It's all right.
It's a thing.
They need to crank the volume up a little bit, but I'll figure that out.
Yeah, I just think all we need now is a nice little mini bar setup. That'd be cool. Tyler was talking about a little little Madden or something on that TV.
Yeah.
Then nobody does anything, by the way.
Well, man, we can listen. There's enough room to turn that into an arcade.
It could be a lot of fun in this.
Don't get me started. We'll see. Anyway, we got a lot to get to football-wise today. Gamecock coordinators Clayton White and Mike Shula have spoken. Speaking of Tyler Head, he has carved up a lot of sound from Gamecock players who spoke yesterday. We've got more to get to from Shane Beamer. Obviously, South Carolina, there's no line on FCS games. I mean, you can probably find one at an offshore book if you're really that much of a degenerate gambler. That's up to you. The ESPN FPI gives South Carolina a greater than 99% chance to win this one. And it's interesting, Terry and I were talking about this, not only from a Carolina perspective, because I get it, but this weekend across the country does not provide us with the same level of big-time games that last weekend did. And Terry made a point, we were talking today before the show, that we had 3 top 10 matchups. But we had 3, at least week 1 top 10 matchups fell into our lap. But they would still all have been really good games, even if some of those teams had not been ranked in the top 10. And let's face it, Mr. Ford, Ohio State and Georgia were always going to be in the top 10.
Yes.
To start the season anyway, right? But Texas is there, LSU is there, and then Miami and Notre Dame were there, and that's great. But this weekend, look, at least in name, Michigan-Oklahoma is a good game.
They're both ranked.
By the way, I don't know, should I be surprised that Oklahoma is a 6-point favorite?
It's in Norman. 6 is a bit much, but I'm not surprised. I would think more 3 or 4. I mean, what's Oklahoma beat a, they didn't beat a ranked team last week. They didn't run the ball for crap. Mateer went crazy, but 6 points is a lot, I think. I mean, Michigan won. Michigan's playing a true freshman quarterback on the road, but
that's the thing. And against what is still a really good defense.
That's one thing about Oklahoma. One of the reasons why people are so hip on Oklahoma being that chic team that jumps real high is because the defense wasn't a problem last year.
No, it was not.
The offense was hideous, and everybody thinks the offense is fixed and the defense is still good. And Venables, think what you want as a head coach. Guy can coach a defense.
Yep. But
6 don't you think 6 is a bit much?
Yeah.
I would be like 3, 4.
And let's see where it closes. As we've talked about before, a lot of times the professional gambling money, yes, that's a thing, doesn't usually come in till about Thursday night, Friday morning. Once they've had the final practices and all the intel has been gathered, then those guys place their bets. So we'll see. But that one's there. Iowa State is always fun. Baylor SMU is a good game. It doesn't move the national needle the way any of those 3 that we mentioned from last weekend would. None of these games do. I get the closest one is going to be Michigan-Oklahoma. Oklahoma State at Oregon sounds good on paper to some degree, but Oregon's a 28-point favorite. Yeah. Although, you know what? That'll probably be on the Wild Card Showdown Friday afternoon, and 28 seems like a lot.
Feels like a lot, man. Did you hear Gundy's already putting out excuses why they're not going to win?
Will you do me a favor real quick? I want to do this. Actually, I know this is weird, but I'd like to do this right now if you don't mind, because then I have a question for you at the end of this. Will you play number 27? Number 20. This is about a minute, y'all, but I want you to, not just his words, I want you to just listen to him, because then I'm going to ask you a question when we come back.
Sounds good.
All right, Oregon is paying a lot of money for their team.
Yep.
So from a non-conference standpoint, there's coaches saying they should play teams that are spending the same amount of money.
So what do you figure they are? Probably triple what you pay, ballpark? Or do you know?
There's revenue sharing intact this year.
Yes, so that makes a difference.
Yeah, so some, but they haven't got their hands on it yet.
Gotcha.
So the last 3 years, you didn't have revenue sharing.
Right.
So, and it's funny you mentioned that, because I guessed that the last 3 years that we spent around $7 million over the 3 years. Mm-hmm. And I think Oregon spent close to 40 last year alone.
Wow.
So that was just 1 year.
Okay.
Now, I might be off a few million, but
what's a few million among friends?
well, what I'm saying is they're spending a lot of money. They spent a lot of money, and there's some schools that are doing that.
All right. First off, I want to ask you, if you didn't know that was Mike Gundy, who might you think that was? Because I thought when I heard that, because I heard that first on the Andy and Ari show, I was like, is that Jerry Jones? Sounds like Jerry Jones. And I know they're from the same general part of the world, right? That sort of Arkansas, Oklahoma, Northeast Texas accent.
A little something there. And Jerry's got a little raspy. Gundy's a little raspy.
Yeah.
I didn't think about that.
From what I have read today, once I saw that, God bless him. I like Mike Gundy. He's good for college football. They had a horrible year last year, but he accepted it well. And I do. I like Mike Gundy. But from what I understand, Terry, his $40 million last year alone at Oregon is like just incredibly off base.
Yeah.
Like way, way off base. So I'm not sure where he got that number. And I will say, and this has been echoed a few times, Mike Gundy didn't say anything when T. Boone Pickens gave his school like $1 billion.
No, Mike didn't go, no, that's not fair.
Yeah, so
that's not fair.
Because it's now T. Boone Pickens Stadium, not just the office building or the locker room or the student center or something.
Might as well rename the university.
Well,
T. Boone Pickens State University.
He gave him a lot. So anyway, but the more reason I want people to hear that, I was like, that sounds like Jerry Jones.
It kind of does. I didn't think about that.
Yeah, no, but anyway, we'll touch on some of that because that's out there. But it's what are you going to?
Well, here's my question. All right, why are you bringing that up instead of either A, you want your team to poor old Oklahoma State, and you want to go in there that underdog and shock the world, or are you setting everybody up for? If we get whooped in Eugene, hey, they spend a lot more money than us. What do you want me to do?
I think it's more the latter than the former.
Too.
I think there's a blend of the two. But if you wanted me to put a percentage, I'd go like it's 20% play the underdog, 80%, hey, that's just not us anymore.
Or how about this, ready? Well, when you get beat, I can see Mike Gundy. Well, this is the best players I can buy.
Right.
Look at these guys. If you're in that locker room, aren't you feeling almost a little bit like
a little bit? And again, it wasn't all that long ago that they were given a massive gift by Mr. Pickens.
Yep.
So we'll see on that one. By the way, and I was going to bring this up later. I have a little note over here. Remember for all those days that we said Carolina was on like day whatever of the Rasul Faison watch. Let's see. Saturday would be 1, 2, 3, 4. Is today in Tuscaloosa, day 4 of the Dan Lanning watch?
Maybe. Well, here's the thing. To your point, you're not the guy following the guy. You're now the savior to save the program after the guy that followed the guy created the program, right?
Yeah.
Changes the whole dynamic there, doesn't it?
I don't, because I'm trying to think who else in college football today is ready for that. Because listen, this is going to become, I'm dead serious when I say this. This is going to become for Alabama what we have been seeing for more than 40 years in Athens as you wait for the next Herschel Walker. You're going to be waiting that long for the next Nick Saban.
Well, you're never getting the next Nick Saban.
It's not happening.
Yeah.
The blend of what that man could do. All right, all phases of what he needed to do, he could do. It's not coming back.
No.
So who is there? I mean, Ryan Day's not leaving. Kirby's not leaving.
Nope.
Sark doesn't want the Bama job.
No, he's got Texas. Why would he want to leave?
You've got
Texas.
You don't maybe have a better job, but you don't need to leave. No. And really, I wouldn't do that. Dan Lanning.
I could see that.
It's Dan Lanning. James Franklin's not going to Alabama, and James Franklin's not who Alabama needs.
No, they don't. No, that would be a mistake.
Dabo. People say Dabo. I think if Dabo had wanted the job, Dabo would have the job. I don't think Dabo wants that job.
Dabo is Clemson.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You're not Alabama.
No, you don't need to go do that now.
No. I think,
again, if he wanted the job, I think he could have had the job.
And Lanning might be the guy.
I just think it's Dan Lanning. So day 4. of the Dan Lanning Watch. All right, we got Start Bench Drop to get to. Lots more around Gamecock football, and our buddy Rick Henry coming up around 3:30. It's the postgame show. All right, welcome back in. Post-game show rolling on here on a Wednesday. Our good friend Rick Henry will join us coming up at the bottom of the hour. Rick has let me know he may still be on the golf course. Jack Veltri, right? Jack Veltri a couple of weeks ago we had on the golf course, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
and I think Jack had a few beverages, if I remember correctly.
No, you were wrong about that.
Am I wrong about that?
Yep.
Did he admit that on the air?
No, I don't think so.
You don't think so? I'll go back and play the tape.
No, not about that. But Rick may still be on the golf course, he said.
Maybe think he have any beverages?
I don't know.
Or should we ask him?
Nice Coca-Cola, Gatorade.
A tab? How about a Fresca?
Fresca. All I think of is Judge Smales. How about a Fresca? If you know, you know. Caddyshack fans.
Mm-hmm.
You know what's funny? I bet you in my life, I'm dead serious, and I have played a lot of golf. Now, not of late, but I used to play a couple rounds a week.
Mm-hmm.
I have probably not had double-digit beers total on a golf course. I don't like to drink and play golf. I don't mind, like, drinking and, like, going bowling.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Or something.
Mm-hmm.
And I got some buddies who, like, can't play golf without, like, and I'm like, I'm not that. So,
I never seriously played golf. It's not my thing. I played maybe 7-8 times in my life, right? And I go with my buddies who played, and I go, we have fun. I've never really gone and drank constantly. The only time I ever ran into that, I won't lie to you, I was in Boise, and we did a golf event like we do at Charwood.
Uh-huh.
And so I'm playing with these two listeners, these two guys, and I get there, another one of our hosts get there, and we're playing with these guys as part of the whole spiel. And these guys go, and I had a coffee because I have to have coffee. It was 7:30 tea time or something.
Sure.
So I got a coffee.
I don't think it really matters what time of day it is for you and coffee, though.
No, not really. That's a good point. So I've got it, and the guy goes, "Oh, you got a coffee?" He goes, "Yeah." He goes, "Good. I got the schnapps."
Oh, no. 7:30?
7:30, man. And even in my prime of elbow bending,
No.
I was not a morning drinker.
No.
I could never do that.
But I don't like to.
And it was-
Nothing against anybody that
Oh, if
wants
you
to
wanna
go
do
have a
it,
beer
yeah.
on the golf course. I'm not like judging here. I don't.
I can barely do sporting events sober.
Yeah,
I don't need to add booze to it. To be quite honest.
I don't really. It just was never my thing.
Nah.
And again, I like a beer.
Now I'll say this: if I was ever like at a golf course just hanging,
Yeah.
that's cool. I'm outside. I'm in the weather. I'm in nature. Give me a beer. I'm just chilling out. That's one thing. But if I'm I can barely hit a golf ball.
So what
to
I get
begin
is
with.
that if you're like going, deer hunting or bear hunting,
Mm-hmm.
then you'll have a beer. But if you're doing sports outside of some
Well,
variety,
only if I've never gone bear. I've gone bear wrestling,
sure.
and I always like to have a few beers before I bear wrestle.
I just got a hit on Twitter. Beers on the golf course called swing fluid. I
There we
believe.
go.
Listen again.
Mhm.
I got several buddies.
No, me too. I got buds who do it. Sure.
That really they'll have a couple on the range,
Mm-hmm.
and then they're ready to play.
I'm not against it. I
and
just,
then as the round goes on,
I'm just maybe
that's who you take money from. By the way, maybe that's what.
right. Maybe because I'm so bad at it.
Hey, I was hold on, watch this. You go ahead and do that, man. I'll bet you. How much you want? You just watch.
Right.
You're like, yeah, look at you.
It's always good when you don't understand what they're saying.
Right.
You need captions.
Yeah.
They need captions.
Like, where are you gonna hit?
Okay. Look, I'm not against it. Maybe I should have because I was so bad at golf.
Yeah.
Maybe I should have
Maybe.
did a little
Maybe.
drink a hole. You know what I'm saying?
I
Beer
do.
hole. No.
Today's.
Oh, wait a minute before you do that.
Oh yeah,
Before
you got
that,
it.
we got the fancy little. We got a
I forgot
fancy
about
opening.
that.
Got to do it. Ready?
Okay. No, that's the wrong one.
Okay, that wasn't the right thing.
I don't think that's the right one.
Just go ahead. Forget it. You jumped it.
Well,
Go ahead.
it's start bench drop time, and I'll just tell people. It's brought to you by Carolina Honda Power.
Thank you.
How's that? Yesterday, we touched on the negatives of the weekend with North Carolina, well, Bill Belichick, and Alabama and Arch Manning. And it was a pretty wide range of starters. A lot of you started Arch Manning. I was not expecting that. I dropped Arch. I didn't think he had –
Same here.
He was my drop. I thought I was going to start Belichick. I ended up starting Alabama. The more I thought about it, the more Alabama did have the worst week of the three. But Belichick, to me, was really close. And Arch was that was an easy drop for me on that one. But today we do the positives. And already got a few of you that are hitting us. Thank you for that. And you got to just pick these three. I mean, there are others. But alphabetical order is how we give them to you. So start, bench, drop, the positive outcomes of the weekend. Florida State, Miami, Texas Christian.
Those are three good ones.
I could have put Ohio State instead of Miami, and then they would have all correlated with yesterday. But nobody wants to vote for Ohio State.
No, because it's like it's Ohio State.
Yeah.
Yeah, the funny thing
and the
about
U has become more likable these days. Like they and Notre Dame both, and I don't think I'm wrong about that. I'm not saying people love them. Don't get me wrong. But I think Miami and Notre Dame are more likable than they have been in a long time.
Oh, Miami became a villain to a lot of folks because the U and the rep and how they were and blah, blah, blah. They don't have that with them anymore, if you know what I'm saying. They don't carry that deal with them. So, I mean, to your point, they're probably more likable because they don't carry the – they loved being the villain back then.
They did.
They reveled in being the villain.
Absolutely.
And I think now it's just not that same vibe around the U. And
I think that's why for almost 20 years they went away because the board down there went, we're not going to do this anymore.
We're actually a really good academic school.
That's the thing. That's the thing. I tell people that a lot. Miami is on the same level of school as like Duke, Vandy, Rice, Tulane. It's Johns Hopkins. It's one of those kinds of schools, man.
They don't want a reputation. And with Notre Dame, I think because they truly haven't been, like we grew up, they were a dynasty. They had their own network. They were easy to hate. And they just haven't been the same consistently great program over the last, 15, 20 years maybe. They pop every now and then, like last year they did. Yeah. So they're not like what they used to be. So I guess they don't come off as hateable because they almost like the Dallas Cowboys of college football for a while.
That's fair.
And now they're not anymore, so maybe it's not that. I hate Notre Dame. They're everywhere. I can't stand them.
Well, I think they have a head coach that people can gravitate toward.
A likable guy. He's a likable dude in Freeman.
And so I think that's a big part of it. But
you mean Kelly wasn't likable?
No. Sorry.
Just even yesterday when he's taking that jab at Dabo, which was kind of funny.
Yeah, he's not likable.
He's still not likable.
He's really not.
Just not.
But I'll never let go of the Cincinnati thing. Again, speaking of Notre Dame, and that made Notre Dame look a little villainous too, because it was like you will take the job now or you won't get the job.
Right.
And it's like, man, you just led this school to their biggest moment ever,
and now you got to leave out the back door. Not cool.
Yeah, I didn't think that was.
I'll say this: two things about Kelly that, for me, one is that one I agree, and the other one was the thing with the kid at Notre Dame.
Yes, that was.
Horrible. And the more you read about that
was horrible.
That was awful.
Yeah.
And you can't excuse that away. I'm sorry.
And he's never really. It's like,
Now,
and if y'all don't know, a kid died. It was a video.
A very avoidable situation.
Yeah.
And
it was a video,
And Kelly wanted him videotaping in weather that was not
ideal.
Very
conducive. In fact, it was beyond ideal.
And Kelly's never come back. In hindsight, nothing. So that's my extra
because he can't, right?
Well, legally, he probably can't.
Yeah. Right. But anyway, start, bench, drop, FSU, Miami, TCU, some positives of the weekend. Rick Henry, more on the Gamecocks and maybe the future of games like Carolina versus SC State. Our buddy from WIS Sports coming up. It's finally football season, and the best way to watch big games when you're not in the ballpark is with an amazing home theater system from Integrated Media. Just call them up at 803-948-8327, and they will come out to your house and tell you all they can do. You come up with the dreams. They help you make it a reality. Maybe you have a really cool home theater set up already, want to upgrade equipment, they can get it done for you. Starting from scratch, let them get every single step from A to Z in for you so you get it done right the first time. Maybe you're ready to enjoy the fall weather and your favorite games and anything else that you like to watch outdoors. Integrated Media installs outdoor home theater built around the Samsung Terrace TV and the Sonos outdoor speaker systems. They are built to be outside all year long, even in our climate, and they look and sound like anything indoors does. They are fantastic. One room, whole house, outdoors, Wi-Fi that works everywhere. 803-948-8327. Integrated Media. All right, welcome back in. Jay and Terry with you here on a Wednesday afternoon. Time to talk to our good friend Rick Henry, a little TV on the radio on this Wednesday. Now, I may be mistaken, but this, I think, must be Rick's day off because Rick let me know in accepting our invitation that he may still be on the golf course this afternoon. So that's the opening question. That's the real journalism.
To be fair, in the world we live in, Rick could be doing his work while he's golfing.
Let's find out. Where are you, sir?
Hey, how are you guys doing today?
I'm well. So you are golfing.
You're on the golf course.
I am. And playing with my good buddy, Joe McCaskill. We're having a great day. Not playing too badly. And, I'm taking a comp day because I had a very long week last week. So got to get caught up on the rest and relaxation.
Well, you're doing it, but we appreciate you working it. You see, you guys proved that you were, because Julia was on with us 2 weeks ago on her day off. Now you're with us on your day off. So I feel kind of badly that we're having you guys work, but not that bad, Rick. Not that bad.
Right. And like I said, I am on the golf course. So.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. I don't want to start you with the result from Sunday, which speaks for itself when you win a football game against a good opponent. I want to take you to the big moment with Nick Harbor's touchdown, not the overturned one, but the 64-yard bomb. And just get your thoughts from a program perspective, because one of the things I said during the game was they needed that, and not just in the moment to score a touchdown, that they needed it from a much bigger picture perspective. How would you look at that moment, again, in multiple ways?
Well, when they went into that fourth quarter, and as a matter of fact, I was texting with Julia at the time, and I said, hey, they need a touchdown right now. And then they had the punt return, and she responded, hey, you called it. And then but still, you wanted the offense to show a little more because they had that great opening drive, and you go, oh, man, this may be a big day for Lenoir's and his fellows. But especially Nick Harbor needed it after having a drop. And, last year he dropped some balls. And then having that one overturn, and when the ball was in the air, I went, oh, my, because, Lenoir's just launched it, and I see Nick is open. And I'm saying, okay, all you have to do is catch it, and it's a touchdown. So, that they needed that because it kind of completed, when you look at it and how they won it, the offense contributed, defense contributed some big plays, and special teams. They had some rough patches, but they found a way to win, and that's what good teams do.
By the way, Rick, how about that throw, man? It's like he ran down there and handed it to him.
Oh, yeah. I go back to Lenoir's freshman year. When he had that long touchdown pass against Furman, he launched it, and the receiver, he was running full speed, and caught it in the middle of the end zone, and it was just on the money. I went, oh, this guy, he may have the strongest arm of any Gamecock quarterback I've ever seen. And we saw it on Sunday. I mean, it was perfect.
Hey, Rick, when you walk away from that game, and we all had some question marks, what question mark was best answered for you? I know it's only one game, but would you come away with going, all right, I was kind of concerned about that, but I feel better?
Oh, well, let's see. That is a good question, because the things that stand out to me are still kind of question marks, like the offensive line. They've got to tighten up there. And, questions about the secondary, too, especially like on those 50-50 balls, because at times it just seems like they were getting cooked. And running backs, we know Lenoir's can run the football. And then Faison, he had a nice run when they really needed it. Attaway had some moments. And the defensive line, okay, give them some props. They played pretty well. We had questions about the defensive tackles, but then Dylan Stewart, he ramped it up in the fourth quarter, and they took care of business. But still, just there are questions that they can find some answers to before they really get into the tough part of the schedule. But overall, the fact that they won the game against a Power 4 team, and with all the off-season hype, they had to come away with a W. So overall, I'm kind of pleased with that performance.
Talking to our buddy Rick Henry, WIS-TV Sports, kind enough to join us on his day off while he's out on the course. You asked Shane a question, at least on a topic that I've spoken a lot about through the years, Rick, and that is with the future scheduling of the Southeastern Conference. What does the future of non-conference scheduling look like? And I know you were more specific into the in-state FCS schools, but what does your gut tell you about those? Are we headed towards an all Power 4 conference? Do you still think that winning some games against teams you're supposed to beat will remain part of college football? What more did Shane's answer tell you? And as somebody who's covered this a long time, what do you think about it?
Well, with the SEC going to 9 conference games, plus they play Clemson, so that gives you 10 against Power 4 teams. And, give South Carolina credit. Over the past few years, we've seen them play another Power 4 team, like Virginia Tech this year. We've seen them play North Carolina State. And I think if you do that on a consistent basis, I would like to see them play at least one game each year against one of the FCS teams. But then again, if you look at last year and the schedule that South Carolina played, it didn't help them get into the playoffs. But with the expansion of the playoffs coming, and we know it is to 16, then it shouldn't be a question with South Carolina's schedule, even if they maintain the teams that they're playing now.
How much do you think?
James, Clemson, and maybe another Power 4 team.
Yeah, sorry to cut you. We know that the selection committee this year is going to weigh better power conference opponents, win or lose, relative to teams you're supposed to beat. Do you think we'll get a greater idea of how more schools feel about this with this year's selection process?
Yeah, I think we will, because I think after, with the mandate with the SEC, like, hey, we're going to schedule 9 conference games. Everybody has to play a Power 4 team. Then I think that should be a signal to everyone that, hey, we've got to ramp up these schedules if we want to be a serious contender for a playoff spot, especially if you're one of those teams that, may be on the bubble somewhat. And I'd like to see it. I think everyone enjoys seeing your team test itself as much as possible.
Yeah,
and that's you don't want to go.
That's one of my things, Rick, because Carolina, you mentioned it with North Carolina, NC State, Virginia Tech. In the next 6 years, you got home and homes with Miami, NC State, and Chapel Hill. I'd hate to lose those, but we may.
Yeah, if you're playing that schedule and it gives you an extra loss or two, and it knocks you out of the playoff contention, then I'm gonna say, hey. And someone gets in who's not playing as tough a schedule, like we saw last year, then I'll go, okay, why are we hurting ourselves?
Right.
That's going to be, I think that's going to be the interesting thing,
In Rick, in a perfect world, wouldn't we love to see just some kind of, Power 4 conference universal scheduling kind of criteria where we try to get some kind of, I know it's not easy, but get some kind of fairness out of these schedules?
Yeah, you know what I'd love to see? I would love to see, okay, if we go to an all Power 4 schedule, some years I'd like to see, okay, SEC, you're going against the Big Ten. ACC, you're going against the Big 12. And then, hey, it's just going to be a street fight then all during the regular season. Maybe do away with the conference championship games and let the regular season, let that work speak for you. And then the survivors, you get to play for the national championship.
I think the TV partners would like that, but we shall see. Hey, we'll let you go. Hit them straight this afternoon. Thanks for the time on an off day, man. We'll holler at you.
Have a good one, Rick.
Okay, hey, I enjoyed it. Y'all have a great week.
That's our buddy Rick Henry. Rick Henry 10 to follow along on Twitter and, of course, catch him. Not tonight, though. Not tonight.
It'd be fun tonight, maybe.
Most nights.
Coming off the course.
Most
Might
nights.
be fun, just saying.
On WIS-TV, you're listening to the Postgame Show. It is vault time. We'll catch up with Start Bench Drop today, too. Thanks to Rick Henry for joining us. Coming up next hour, sound from Coach Beamer and some of the players. The coordinators have spoken. Get to that a little bit later on, too, around Carolina. Gamecocks, again, 99% chance to win Saturday.
That says that South Carolina State has a shot.
Always got a chance.
1%. That's a shot.
Always got a chance. All right, what's inside today's vault?
See, you'll remember this. Texas A&M at the Rose Bowl in 2017 had a 34-point lead over Josh Rosen and UCLA. Bruins cut it to 6. UCLA ball in the A&M 10. Josh Rosen, remember him, does this.
Which was Jamabo, and he just dumps it off for a first down. Rosen fakes the spike. In the end zone, touchdown! Whoa! Jordan Lasley! The legend of Josh Rosen!
That's the last time the word legend and the name Josh Rosen were in the same sentence. Rosen fakes the spike like they're going to spike the ball to stop the clock, and then hits Jordan Lasley for the game for the go-ahead touchdown with under a minute left, and UCLA holds on to win a ginormous, historic comeback
Dan
from
Marino
34
did that
down.
once, right?
Yeah, he did it against the Jets, didn't he? Because everybody does things like that against the Jets.
I know it's not the same exact thing, but how would Brett Bielema react if that were done to him?
Oh, he would run over and yell at the other sideline. You can't do that.
I think he would.
Nobody does that.
Yeah, I think he would.
Yeah, we don't do anything over here that's skirting the rules.
To Brett Bielema, like, anything beyond vanilla ice cream is probably
skirting the rules.
Yeah, but he eats a lot of it, I bet. No, kidding, Brett.
That?
Kidding.
What would make you think
Kidding.
That? I don't know where you would get that from.
It's a joke. It's a joke.
So that in 2017,
Josh Rosen was a good college quarterback.
He was a really good college quarterback.
That's, again,
we forget that.
I know, because and we talked about it yesterday, and I'm not going to bang the drum today, but we grade too many quarterbacks on what they did or didn't do in the NFL, even if they were really good at it in college. It drives me nuts sometimes when I hear people that I know are more NFL types. Oh, Tim Tebow sucked. I'm like, he really didn't.
Not in college.
He wasn't an NFL quarterback.
But he was great in college.
But he won the Heisman Trophy and 2 national championships.
He's pretty bleeping good in college. But we do that. Like I'll put it to basketball. To me, Christian Laettner had the greatest career I've seen in my lifetime. 4 Final Fours, back-to-back national championships, iconic, big-time, historic shot making. But because
only college kid on the dream team.
Yeah, but he wasn't a Hall of Fame NBA player, so we look at him like,
I've always contended about him real quick, Laettner, that for the first time in his life when he got to the NBA, he played on bad basketball teams, and I don't think he handled it well.
He didn't handle it well, and then,
because he'd never been on a bad basketball team.
Because possibly, to your point, he off the court, there was some stuff, and it could have gone back to what you're saying now. He'd never been on bad teams. He had always had a good culture and a strong culture around him, which he didn't really have in Minnesota. And now you're an NBA player kind of on your own with no strong culture, and you suck, your team.
Your team was...
And
they were wretched for a little bit.
Yeah, Laettner, he did. People forget something. He was an all-star.
Yeah, no, he was... But because
he wasn't great.
He's a fantastic basketball
player. He was a solid pro, better than you want to give him credit. Not you, but most people.
Right.
But he was... I've never seen a college career better in my lifetime.
That's fair. I think a lot of people agree with you.
And I'll circle to Rosen. Rosen was phenomenal at UCLA.
Yeah.
Phenomenal.
Just doesn't always happen.
Mm-hmm.
Who's our boy at Nebraska that won the Heisman?
Eric Crouch?
Crouch.
Not a college, not an NFL quarterback at all. No, but a hell of a college quarterback.
But he won the Heisman.
He ran that offense, didn't he?
Yeah. So take it as you will. Start bench drop today. We had negatives yesterday from the opening weekend of college football, at least week 1. So today the positives in alphabetical order: Florida State, Miami, TCU. Got a few of you that have hit us already, so let me get to a couple of them. Can't get to all that have hit you, but we'll get there. David says start Florida State, bench Miami, drop TCU. Robert says start the U, bench TCU, drop Florida State. All right.
That's an interesting one.
The same David weighed in, by the way, on yesterday's. Start Belichick, bench Bama, drop Arch. All right. That's where I thought I was going to go, David, and then I didn't.
We agreed on dropping Arch. We did yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah, we both were
Yeah.
like drop Arch.
Again, I think the people that are beating up on Arch, I'll keep saying it, just want to.
Yeah.
Again, he had a bad day on the road against the reigning national champion, who, by the way, are poised to be a national champion again. Will they? I don't know. Can they? Absolutely.
That wasn't going on the road and playing terrible against Ball State.
Right.
You know?
It was Ohio State, again, in their building. So
Right.
I'm going to give Arch some benefit of the doubt, hour 2 coming up. Cato's Power Equipment ready to fire up a bunch of things that I've gotten from Ben and Matt and the crew. And listen, time to cut the grass this weekend. Yes, get a few things done around the rest of the yard. Get it looking nice for the fall. Yes, like I said, soon enough, not trying to wish our lives away, but soon enough, you'll be probably decorating the yard for the holidays. A lot of folks, listen, I've already seen a couple of Halloween decorations, man, and it's like the first week of September. But hey, that you do you. But you want it to look nice in the yard. Cato's fits you into the right power equipment for all the needs that you have. Listen, you can go to a big box store. You can buy a lawnmower. You can buy a chainsaw. You can buy an edger, a blower, a trimmer. But when you go to Cato's, you get exactly what you need for exactly what you do every single time. Whether you do it for yourself, whether you do it for a living, let the experts at Cato's give you their sales service and advice. 4012 West Beltline Boulevard and always online at catospowerequipment.com. 4 o'clock on this Wednesday. Welcome back in. Second hour of the postgame show coming at you from the Herndon Chevy Studios in downtown Columbia, South Carolina, alongside Terry Ford. I'm Jay Phillips. Appreciate you being with us. And once again, if you missed it, I threw a picture out on Twitter a little earlier, but I don't know what we call this area out here. It's not really our office because our offices are on a different floor. And most of us don't like desks anyway.
No.
What do we call this? It's not a lobby.
No, well,
Common area? It's not even
common.
really.
Yeah, common area. The old school, like back in my music radio days, Jay, when I worked with Fred Flintstone, you would have like a jock lounge for the on-air people.
Okay.
And this is kind of what it's kind of like a programming lounge for all the programming people to hang.
Well, it has been given a loungy touch today.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Do we need to give credit to who did? I mean, I would like to give somebody credit.
Me.
I'd like to give somebody real credit. But we have
the guy. Seriously, the person who's been doing all the hard work of this is Randy, the engineer.
Okay. Well, then Randy has been like amazing.
Mm-hmm.
But we have a brand new Avengers pinball machine, full size, lights, bells, whistles.
Randy built it.
I did just see Randy though, and I said I had the only, and again because I like to complain.
Sure. No, not you. Stop. Never you.
The volume is like on 1.
Yeah, you can't hear it. It's a little weird to play pinball without the sound.
And he said, yeah, we had to turn it down because it makes noise even when it's not being played, which a lot of pinball machines of today do. I'm like, you know what? Just crank that thing up.
Who cares if it bleeds on the air? Who cares?
No, but it's over on the other corner.
But we also using that for our new fancy video podcasting studio.
Well, then we can turn it down when we need to. But here's the thing, and you know I'm right on this, okay? We have two, like where Terry is, where anybody, like where Jen in the morning, Dave through the midday, Terry right now. They're in the production studio side.
Producer studio.
Yeah, and that's where the board is and everything that gets all the sound out. And I'm here in the talk studio. And they're right next to each other. Mm-hmm. And within 3 feet of one another are 2 really big, bright signs that say on air. And they light up red. You can't miss. You could see them if there was a window open. You could see them if you were on the State House lawn.
Remember they didn't work right?
Yes. But here's the thing. Even when they do, nobody gives a crap.
Nobody pays attention.
People will come right out here and they'll be screaming and talking and yelling and hollering.
I'll be honest with you, man. Those things it's like the Hollywood sign.
Nobody cares.
Nobody cares.
And so the point I make is those aren't a deterrent. So at this point, what's a little noise from a pinball machine 30 feet away? Right? So I say crank it. Crank it. I want to hear Thanos and Thor and whoever else is in there doing their thing. I'm fine with it.
It's a cool pinball machine.
It's fun, man.
It is. I told you I got in there just
fun.
Because I was told it was here.
It's dangerously fun.
It is because I was down here, and I was let me play. I haven't played pinball in a while. Let me knock a ball around or two. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. 10 balls later, I finally had to get away from that thing.
It's great.
It was cool. I was giving it the old hip. Like the old days, give it that little hip.
Sure. Well, that's why they have tilt signs. I haven't seen anybody try to tilt it yet.
Yeah, a little hip action to it, like when I was at Skateland.
Yeah, Skateland.
Yeah, and I go skate with Danielle.
I tried to remember. Somebody hit us on the text line or hit me on Twitter. I don't know why, and I'll probably think of it in a minute. And I went to a bunch of arcades when I was a kid, but what was the name of the arcade? For those of you who grew up in Columbia, like yours truly, what was the name of the arcade at Woodhill Mall? Like 2 doors down from the Chick-fil-A. Because for the life of me, I've been trying to think of that the last 30 minutes, and I just can't remember. And I probably, man, whatever allowance money and lawnmower money and whatever else my mom I earned as a tyke, I blew in that joint, man.
I'll tell you what, everybody that built the mall in the 70s, 80s, and 90s made sure they had an arcade in that mall because the money that
when
teens dropped was sick.
When they got the sit-down Star Wars game, like sit down in it, and then the sit down in it pole position, man, I don't know. I didn't want to know how much money I lost in this thing.
You know what's funny? They had a football game in the arcade in Baltimore, and It was like a video type game, but it was like, again, not like today, but it was a video type game in the arcade. And I played that a ton. And I do some Pac-Man, do some pinball, whatever. And it's what's so funny is I played that stuff. I loved it.
Yeah.
But when it comes to like video games, I've
like a video game system.
My thing.
Yeah.
I've never been. But I loved arcades. I don't know. Maybe it's just the arcade I dug so much. I don't know, man.
I have an obscure one. I was probably pound for pound best at Tron.
I remember Tron.
Because Tron was like 4 games in one. And I actually got really, really good at Tron.
I remember that one.
Yeah.
I think I played it once or twice, sucked, and I moved on. I remember the one, what was the one where you just like, Asteroid?
Oh, yeah.
Remember Asteroid?
Sure.
Asteroid was kind of solid.
Yeah, that was, yeah.
Just shooting rocks or whatever it was.
Yeah, that's earlier gen.
I won't lie.
A little basic.
I did enjoy that. You know, the one video game I did enjoy with my youngest was Frogger, just because, you know, I'm violent.
Frogger's fun.
Frogger. I tell you, the other ones I got as my kids got older, Grand Theft Auto was interesting.
Yes. That's it.
The original.
Interesting is a good
The original.
A good word. Yeah, it's a good word.
Once I was like, oh wow.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, a little more.
Alrighty then.
A little more than just
Ready?
a video game.
Ready? That's a little more than Pac-Man.
Yeah, a little more.
Alrighty.
Little more.
But yeah, arcade was fun, dude.
Yeah.
Arcade was a lot of fun.
I'm smelling a start bench drop with some classic video games. So
Might be it, man. A little arcade action.
Anyway, we have that going for us here at 107.5 The Game.
All right, so here's my question to you as we go into week 2 with South Carolina State, 99.9999% chance of victory. What will make Jay Phillips, I mean, forget, just win you want to win, obviously. But what is the thing that would make Jay Phillips the most happy to see for 4 quarters, or just a glimpse of enough to make him happy at the end of game 2?
Yeah, it's hard to gauge because I know State. I know how well coached they are, and so you know how much State can take from the film of Virginia Tech and try to contain Carolina's run game will be interesting to me. Because if I were State, I would attempt to do that. So to answer your question, then, run consistently. Because I still believe, that's one of the great tenets of this sport, right? You still are going to have to run. And Shane wasn't wrong when he said we ran the ball pretty well last season, all things considered. Mm-hmm. But on Sunday, again, looking at carries and average, it works out nicely. But you also know that you only had 3 guys run the ball, number one. Not that matters that much. You will see more than that, I think, on Saturday.
Oh, yeah.
But you only had Lenoris and Oscar and Rasul run the ball. Each of them had a big run, right? They each, Rasul had a 30. Mm-hmm. I think Oscar had a 20.
23, I think, for
and,
Oscar. And Sellers' touchdown
the
was
Sellers' touchdown was 15 yards. So, they all had a big play. And that's fine. I love big plays. But you're going to need some level of consistency when you just, you don't want second and 9.5.
You want efficiency. I mean, explosive plays are great, but I always say this, Jay, it's like forcing turnovers on defense. That's all well and good, but how good are you as a defense if you're not forcing turnovers?
Right.
Can you go out there and make plays? Same thing with, like, offense. Yes, everyone loves explosive plays. 64-yard touchdown bomb, fantastic. 80-yard punt return. But on the days you're not getting those, can you still be efficient and effective as an offense and score points by driving, the football down the field? And you're right, 2nd and 9, would Elijah had the stat would average 3rd and 9.5 on Saturday. Yeah. Those are the things that got to get better. And I'm with you. My number one thing I want to see is I want to see the offensive line get physical. And I know it's South Carolina State. God love them. But I want to see the South Carolina offensive line dominating the run game. I want those guys not to get touched for like 4 or 5 yards.
Yeah, that's number one. And then number 2 is still going to be, Lenoris finding his groove and just working on those moments where he goes through, because we've certainly seen him progress when it goes through everything he needs to do as a quarterback. We saw the second half of last season and how much better he got. We saw him going through that against Virginia Tech. And again, I think a couple of the sacks that the Hokies got on Carolina were because Lenoris held the ball too long looking for somebody to throw to, because he's working really hard on not just dropping and running. And again, where is that very, very almost hair-thin fine line for him with what he and Mike Shula will be working on this Saturday. So I think that'll be the second one, because then, Terry, you go straight into conference play, man, and you've got, 3, 4, I mean, I guess you have – actually, no, I guess you'll have 7 in a row, right? Yeah.
Yep.
7 in a row before you play Coastal Carolina in conference. So you jump right in at that point, and so I would say run game first, but not too far behind. It's just – the feeling, and we'll hear from Lenoris after the game, how he feels about himself and doing those little things, the nuances, just those tiny little difference maker things where he feels, all right, here's where I tuck and run, here's where I throw into row 10.
Right.
Or here's where, as I think you mentioned, here's where I've got to find, the hot route, where I know that guy's going to be there for me, even if it's for a 2-yard gain, those little things. And we know he's working on that. Right. So how that looks. But, again, I never like to say these things. But, yes, how much you can really gather from the level of opponent that you play.
Right. And I like to see more receivers get involved myself, just to see these other guys get some catches and targets. And, look, it was great to see Harbor pop.
Yeah.
Because you needed it. Donovan Murph, the freshman, caught a pass. 3 tight ends caught balls. Right. But I'd like to see the wide receivers get a bit
more involved. More wide. That was one of the things I said in terms of concern was wide receiver distribution. You had enough guys catch balls, and I don't mind if the tight end on a given team anymore might be your leading pass catcher.
Sure.
We don't have to. We can just if we want to differentiate.
We saw last year with Simon here.
Yeah. I mean, heck, man, I go back, the year, and I hate to bring up a negative while talking about a positive, but the year Marcus got hurt against Tennessee. Tennessee. At that point in the season, Marcus Lattimore was South Carolina's leading pass catcher too. Mm-hmm. So I don't care who it is if he's good at doing it. You know what I'm saying? But to your point, and the point that you and I made on Monday about that very thing, for as deep a room as that seems to be, how do you get more of those guys? And it's hard to get too many involved. And that's another thing we talked about during the preseason, is that you got 9, 10, 11 guys over there. Mm-hmm. Who's your top 5, knowing full well that you got 3 tight ends that you do want to get involved? Yeah,
so I mean there are a lot of guys that want to eat. It's just you're hoping that 2 or 3 of them can become like consistent producers. Like, again, I would love to see 99 yards from Harbor every game. Don't get me wrong, but it would be nice to see maybe a Brown or a Bennett or some of the freshmen maybe get into the mix a little bit too.
Yeah. 803-404-6100. Start bench drop today goes to the positives nationally in college football. After last weekend, we had some negatives yesterday. So today, start bench drop, Florida State, Miami, Texas Christian. We'll get into some more of those results throughout the afternoon. Speaking of Gamecock players, several of them have spoken ahead of SC State and after Virginia Tech. We'll let you hear from those guys as the postgame show rolls on. 19 minutes after 4 o'clock here on this Wednesday afternoon. Jay and Terry with you. It's the postgame show. Distractions abound. Not only did we get a pinball machine, but we got one of those. It's a little miniature one. We got the little claw game.
Yeah, like you go to the fair and you try to grab something like a stuffed
I think
animal.
we ought to. I really do think, though, I don't know who has the key or whatever, but we do need to put something in there of value.
I don't disagree with you.
Like steal somebody.
What do we have of value here?
Well, steal somebody's wallet.
A watch.
Yeah.
You know, somebody upstairs, a couple Apple Watches are on people upstairs.
Yeah, I got one.
Now we can steal your Apple Watch.
You could.
Put it in there.
But these little things.
Duck owl. What'd you call it earlier?
It's not. Again,
What'd you
if
call
you're
it
watching
before?
on YouTube, I don't know what this is. It's it looks like a duck, sort of, but again, ducks don't have ears. So I think it's some kind of owl thing. I don't know how
But it looks like a duck at the bottom.
It does.
Right? Huh?
So, but
You know, maybe a duck and an owl just, they fell in love.
steal Dave's wallet. Put Dave's wallet in.
We want something with something in it.
Yeah, but then Dave would just panic.
Oh, yeah. He would. Well, I don't know if he told the story on the air. The other day, right, he comes in.
Just kidding.
He comes in.
I don't want Dave to panic.
Yeah, you do.
No, I
anyway.
really don't. I don't want Dave to panic.
Well,
I don't.
Well, I'll tell you a story about when you go down this road. You reminded me.
Some people in this room, including myself, that'd be funny. I don't want Dave to panic.
He's sitting here, and he'd been here for a bit, right? Like most of the day. And all of a sudden he walks in, and he's looking around here, and he's like, you see my wallet? And I'm like, my first thought was, did I pick his pocket? Because, I'm back in the day. Anyway, so I'm like, no, Dave. Did you leave it late? I mean, obviously you don't have it. He goes, I don't know what I did with it. And I'm like,
I don't want Dave.
Here's my first thought was, well, if I find it, does he have any credit cards? No. Anyway, long story short, he goes, I go, well, Dave, do you remember having it at all, using it, picking it up? Well, he goes, well, I did take it out of my pocket at Target. And he goes, now, I was using that self-checkout. And I'm like, Dave, you might want to call Target. First of all, Dave, stop the card. Stop the cards, Dave.
Yeah, there's that.
And I said, and so long story short.
Look, free debit card at Target.
Exactly. And then they get a radio guy's debit card. What a waste.
Yeah.
Declined. And so the next day he comes in. I go, did you ever find your wallet? He goes, yeah, I left it at Target.
Nope.
But guess what? Everything was still in it.
Well, that's good. And I guess his bank account was in good shape.
So that's what I said. You're lucky you didn't do that in Baltimore.
Well, listen, maybe, but he's lucky it didn't have anything bad happen to it in Columbia.
I mean,
so
nobody took a card.
Yeah. So
I mean,
I don't know which Target it was at, but we got a few here. But
I think it was Garner's Ferry.
Okay.
So if you're going to leave your wallet laying around, do it in Garner's Ferry's Target. Jay.
Maybe. Let's get to Rocky up next. Let's see if Rocky has advice on which Target to leave your wallet
Rocky,
in, or talk
buddy.
wide receivers. Hey, Rock.
Hey, and yes, I'm going with the wide receiver room. And Jay, you prompted me to call when you were talking about the other receivers, and I'm just going to Nick Harbor, with his size, speed, and agility, and he's learning to run routes and catching the football. In a hoops analogy, he cannot be checked one-on-one.
Right.
Okay? He cannot. And film's there, so the rest of the receivers there in that wide receiver room, they ought to be, and hopefully Mike Shula is understanding, because probably moving forward, he's probably going to have they're going to have somebody else over there to help with Nick Harbor, because as he gets more polished, and I know he will, that dude is unbelievable. And just it's as an athlete is what I'm saying. And then you polish your role as your position player, which is the wide receiver. And I just think the other receivers, they're going to have some opportunities too. So hopefully they will look how to. I don't think they're going to put some 5'10" cornerback on Nick Harbor to cover him one-on-one.
Well, and that to your point, Rocky, and this is one of the things where I even put on my poll question on Monday about the positives and why I said that touchdown play, that bomb, the 64-yarder, because, again, I still believe that Nick caught the other touchdown too, but I'm not going to beat that one up today. But in terms of the one that was legit, I think the program needed it as much as the moment needed it. And, Terry, you and I talked about this on Monday, and Rocky, again, to your point, it's going to demand safety help. Demand.
Yeah. You're rolling coverage now.
And so who steps into those voids? Literally, when the safety comes over, when Nick is running whether it's a straight go route, whether it's one of those post routes, whatever it might be, somebody's going to come help more often than not. And that'll be up to A, Lenoris to identify where that open receiver is, and then B, how other things just happen off of that, whether it's even in the run game. I mean, there are so many things. But, yes, Rocky, to the point, is somebody else going to be running a go route on the opposite side or something else, anything where they cross over and cross up the safeties. There's so many things that now open up to you because you've proven you can do it. Now, you need to go do it again, and you need to go do it a few more times.
Right. I mean, look, the goal of an offense is to make defenses make bad decisions, right? All right, let's say you're running Harbor deep, like you're talking about, and he's running the go route. All right, let's say the safety's got a roll over there to help out because Nick is freakishly fast, and we've seen what can happen. Now that whole area of the field is exposed. Are you running, let's just take Mazio Bennett. You're going to run Mazio Bennett on a crossing route? Guess where there's open space?
Right.
Where that safety and that corner have taken off with Nick Harbor, now there's open space, and if it's a man-to-man, if Mazio beats his guy, he's got a lot of green. If it's zone, that's a wide open spot in the zone because the safety's dropping back and the corner's dropping back because Harbor's affecting the defense deep.
Right.
And then you've got the short area, too, that could be open. So you might have two levels of that defense open if Nick Harbor, if he's doing nothing else, Jay, but clearing out.
Exactly.
For those guys.
Opening up the space. And again, for one of these two pass-catching tight ends to find their way over the middle or to run those same routes. There's so many little things here, but you just needed that play to hit so that defenses now and defensive coordinators now know, all right.
Ready? Oh, my God, the track guy's actually playing wide receiver now. Yeah. Oh, no.
And listen, I think, and this is not the same, but it does. Look, the athleticism that Nick Harbor showed on the catch that wasn't allowed, the touchdown catch that wasn't allowed, that's also making me really nervous if I'm a defensive coordinator because now, our guy just proved he can go get that ball.
Exactly.
And he can keep his feet down. And he can do it deftly.
6'4", big catch radius, right? And if you get him to learn how to high point and maneuver, and like you said, go after it in jump ball situations in the corner, and to get his feet down, which he did. Same thing on that sideline route that Ryan Brewer was talking about yesterday.
Yep.
That route was a lot sharper than we've seen before. He caught the ball, navigated his feet in bounds. He's starting to do wide receiver things. And once these things become more and more natural, you're thinking less. When you're thinking less, Jay, what are you doing?
Yeah, you're just making plays, man, and that's what football coaches want. That's what people in sports want.
Mm-hmm. And that's why
the less you think, the more productive you can be.
What do you and I go crazy?
Unless you're a quarterback.
Yeah, we want you thinking more. Thinking less is not good.
But thinking faster.
Yes.
But anyway. Yes.
Well, here's the thing. What was our biggest complaint about Marcus Satterfield's offense?
Well,
the big Denny's menu.
I'm not really sure because I could go. Yeah, but too many plays and too many plays called without recognition of personnel on the field. But yes, too many plays.
Too much thinking, man. Too many. I mean, those guys weren't playing; they were thinking. They were just kind of looking at each other, going, "Well, I thought you went there. I thought I went there. I don't know where we're going." It just once you start just playing and not thinking, then all sorts of things open up for you. And hopefully, what we saw Sunday is the beginning of a hell of a year from Nick Harbor.
Yeah, you mean that's what you want to see. But Rocky, thank you for the phone call. But look, they got a lot of guys. Jaden Sellers was out there a little bit. You want to see Dre Jacobs get himself involved. More from Donovan Murph. More from Mazio Bennett. I mean, you're going to need Mazio eventually to be that guy. But Murph, there's a bunch of these dudes, Terry.
Brian Rowe, man.
Yeah. I mean, looking here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 receivers, 6'2" or taller.
Yeah.
I mean, so you've got some guys. Now, you're not going to get them all involved.
Do you remember last year was only Harbor was over 6 foot? Remember that last year?
But you've got a bunch of dudes at 6 feet. Jaden 5'11", Mazio 5'10". Yes, you want to get more of them involved, and that is certainly something that I think you will see on Saturday. How that translates into conference play will be interesting. We'll come back on the other side. Terry and I are going to have a little fun. It's NFL opening day eve. Tomorrow we'll make some Super Bowl picks. Coming up, who's not going to the playoffs?
There we go.
You're listening to the Postgame Show. The Men's Clinic of South Carolina is ready to help you when you're not feeling like yourself, guys, because as you get older, a lot of things just ain't like they used to be, and you're wondering why. Well, don't sit and wonder. Don't be embarrassed about some of the things that are bothering you these days. Instead, see medical professionals that are really here to do one thing, and that's get you back to feeling the way you want to. Bedroom, boardroom, weight room, out in the yard, just brain fog. There are a whole host of things that'll start to affect all of us as we get older. It's just the way things work. But these days, there's something you can do about it. And the first thing is to call Dr. Dan Balknight and the Men's Clinic, 803-875-MENS. You set up an initial consultation. They get to know you, figure out what's going on, do a little lab work, come back and prescribe something that's just right to get you back to feeling the way you want to. 803-875-MENS. Go see the Men's Clinic.
Quick check on the traffic. In Aiken, road is blocked due to an overturned vehicle, I-20 eastbound between US 1 exit 22 and Wire Road exit 29. Again, that's in Aiken. Also accidents, Blythewood Road at Wilson Boulevard, Buckner Road at Fairfield Road, Divine Street at Woodrow Street, Highway 60 near I-26, I-26 eastbound at US 1, that's exit 58, I-77 southbound at Percival Road exit 15, and Sunset Boulevard near Hope Ferry Road, and Two Notch near I-20. Our first check on the roads this afternoon. In Aiken, the road is blocked due to an overturned vehicle, I-20 eastbound between US 1, that's exit 22, and Wire Road, which is exit 29. Again, an overturned vehicle, I-20 southbound in Aiken, in the Aiken area. Blythewood Road at Wilson Boulevard, there's an accident. Also, Buckner Road at Fairfield Road, Divine Street near Woodrow Street, Highway 60 near I-26, I-20 eastbound at US 1, which is exit 58, I-77 southbound at Percival Road, Sunset Boulevard near Hope Ferry Road, Two Notch near I-20 as well. We'll come back. Who's going to make the playoffs? Forget that. Who's not going to make the playoffs in the NFL? We'll talk about next on the postgame show.
Welcome back in on this Wednesday afternoon. Jay and Terry with you. Coming up in a bit, top of the hour headlines, Gamecock Notebook with more from the coaches and players. Drive around the SEC. It's NFL opening day eve. By the way, Roger Goodell was on the Today Show this morning. So it was, I mean, I like Craig and Savannah. They're fine at what they do. Craig, of course, is a great Colombian. But they asked him about 18-game schedule, and he was very diplomatic. They asked him about maybe a foreign team. He was very diplomatic.
Wow, Goodell diplomatic.
And they asked him if Taylor Swift was going to play halftime of the Super Bowl.
Let me guess.
He said, maybe.
Maybe.
Also diplomatic.
Look.
And then he mentioned Jay-Z, and I'm like, oh. So I don't know who's going to be the halftime. Where's the Super Bowl this year?
Oh.
Don't worry about it.
Somewhere in the United States.
Yes, I was going to say, it's not in London yet, is it?
Not yet. Somewhere in the United
It will be.
States.
We're going to have a London Super Bowl.
Yes.
We're going to have a London Super Bowl.
No doubt at some point.
I think within the next 10 years.
I could see that. It would not surprise me one bit. Or no, ready, I'll be like Roger Goodell. Maybe.
Maybe.
And
that would mean that East Coasters, us, would get to know what it feels like to have a Super Bowl kick at 3 o'clock, like the West Coasters do. Because a London Super Bowl would need to kick about 8 o'clock London time. Right? Ish. So we'll see. All right.
Yeah, ish.
Tomorrow, Terry and I will give you our picks for the Super Bowl, not the halftime entertainment. Although, man, I could see. I would hope. Listen, I'm not a Taylor Swift hater by any stretch. In fact, I'm the opposite. I'm not like a huge fan either. But anyway, I wouldn't want to do it if I'm her until my now future husband has retired, just in the off chance that he's playing. Because let's be honest, there's a good chance that the Kansas City Chiefs will be back in the Super Bowl.
Yes.
I mean, there's a good chance. I don't know if they're the best team in the AFC this season or not. Again, I like Buffalo. I like Baltimore. If Cincinnati could figure out how to tackle again, they could be a contender because they can sure as heck move the football and score points. I don't know if anybody else. I love my Broncos, but nobody in the AFC South is going to the Super Bowl. Pittsburgh's not going to do it under Aaron Rodgers.
No.
I think it's going to be Buffalo, Baltimore, or Kansas City.
Yeah. I feel like that's the AFC.
Maybe Cincinnati if they can tackle.
Well, they've really got they have to go up 2 levels on defense.
Yeah,
they were so bad.
They were
last
so
year.
bad last
They
year.
were awful.
Yeah. So I think there are 3 big contenders, and
a question mark.
I like the Broncos and the Chargers a little bit.
They're just not there yet.
I don't think they're quite.
They're not quite there yet.
Yeah. Not without oh my God, Patrick Mahomes has thrown 5 interceptions.
You know what's interesting?
Lamar fumbled it every time he ran.
22 fumbles.
Yeah.
I look at it like this. I think when you look at the AFC, obviously everybody's chasing the Chiefs. But then the ironic part is the Bills can't beat the Chiefs and the Ravens can't beat the Bills and the Chiefs.
Right.
And those 3 are
and that's why
there.
the Chiefs are still. It's like are we better than you? Yeah.
So look,
Like maybe not that much.
Here's the other interesting part too.
Yeah.
The Chiefs have lost 2 Super Bowls in the Patrick Mahomes era. Both of those games because their offensive line was terrible.
Yeah. Last year, man, Philly was just.
They got up on them.
They did.
And the thing was, Mahomes is running for his life.
Yeah, it was
just like that year when they lost to Tampa. I mean, don't get me wrong. That beatdown that Philly gave Kansas City was worse than the beatdown that Tampa gave Kansas City. But still, I mean, the Chiefs had no chance. The offensive line was putrid.
So, we talked about this a little bit. Should we? I tell you what. Let's do. This is on the fly because we talked. We were going to do this. We'd pick a few teams. Do you want to pick? I tell you what. Even though we're both fans of AFC teams, I'm going to give you the AFC.
Okay.
I want you to pick 4 guaranteed, at least 4 guaranteed non-playoff teams, and I'll pick 4 from the NFC.
All right, that works for me.
All
we
right,
can do that.
So let's. I'll let you start. We'll go back and forth.
All right, cool.
All right. A couple of these are really easy too.
I'm going to kind of make it a little bit more of teams that maybe either were playoff teams last year or we think are sniffing around the playoffs.
Okay.
So I'll make it a little bit more.
Okay.
I'll go there. I will start. This is going to sound a little weird, but just follow me.
All right. Should we pick the low-hanging fruit first?
Okay. Well, it's easy. The entire AFC East except for
Somebody's
Buffalo.
going to win it. Yeah, Buffalo. But Buffalo's very good.
But I will say this. I think New England's going to be better than people think.
They'll be better.
They'll be better.
That's what I was saying. Just pick the Jets.
Yeah, the Jets are awful. They're not going. Out of the AFC East, the Jets aren't going.
Jets aren't.
No, they're not.
Jets aren't.
It's easy.
And I'm sorry for those of you who are local. I don't think the Carolina Panthers are going to go.
No, not at all. No.
Not there yet.
I think they're going to be better again. A team that's going to be better, but I don't think they make it either.
Well, then again, someone in that division will get a home playoff game.
Yes. And
guaranteed.
Yeah. But you know what? We'll get to that. We're in that division.
Yeah.
I tell you what, man. Every now and then, every decade-ish, the stars align for the Falcons.
Yeah.
The Falcons have talent.
They do.
They really.
That's why they can't get out of their own way. I think that they're one of the weirder NFL teams, man. Because you should be better.
Yes.
I can look at some teams and go, yeah, you stink.
Right.
I never think the Falcons stink. God bless them. The Panthers and the Saints of late.
Oh yeah.
They're not good. Falcons. I'm like, why didn't you win a couple more?
And Tampa's not like you look at them and go, wow. So it's not like like the AFC East. Nobody's got a shot to beat the Bills. But I think if Atlanta got their stuff together, they could absolutely take a shot at that division.
They could be that team that gets the home playoff game.
I'm with you.
Nice stadium, by the way.
Yeah, I've heard from this guy, Jay Phillips, tells me all about it.
That's really nice.
All right, easy in the AFC North is Cleveland. Yeah. I mean, you don't your quarterback situation is a mess. And it's just affected the entire that Deshaun Watson debacle.
Right.
Has affected the entire roster, not just from a cap standpoint, but from I think a culture standpoint, a morale standpoint. That has become that's become a disease in that organization. And look, man, they got no shot to make the playoffs.
So here's an interesting one because I look at because I just picked the Panthers. The Saints aren't going to the playoffs either.
Yeah.
But I look at the NFC North, Terry, because I feel like all 4 of those teams. Look, 3 of them. I picked the Packers to win that division. But one of them is going to most likely get left out. Technically,
I was going to say,
the
who
other
do you think's
3
going to get left out?
Could. I'm gonna throw you a curveball you're not expecting here.
Mm-hmm.
The Minnesota Vikings might not make the playoffs.
I was going to say the same thing. I really was. As much as I love O'Connell, they won a lot of one-score games last year. They lost a ton off their defense. J.J. McCarthy is a huge question mark. If I had to pick one of those teams out of the 4, I'd pick Minnesota.
It's tough between Minnesota and Chicago. Mm-hmm. I think Green Bay wins the division, and I think Detroit gets a wild card. That's my early pick. Mm-hmm. And I think Green Bay just got enough to I could see Green Bay making their way even farther, but maybe not to the Super Bowl. But I don't want to say Minnesota was a fluke last year. They weren't. When you win that many games, it's not a fluke. But I don't know. I could see them winning 8 or 9 games this year, and the NFC is so much stronger that they won't make. Because I think Philly wins the East, and I think Washington's going to make it. I don't know if Dallas is going to make the playoffs.
Yeah, let's say you lose.
But Jarrah says they got better.
Oh yeah, well Jarrah said they can stop the run now. Let's say you're the Vikings. You lose 3 more one-score games.
Yeah.
Then where are you at?
Then you're still at 11 wins. That's pretty good.
You're sniffing.
But again, Philly's going to win 13, 14 games. Washington's going to win 12 or so. Rams are going to win 12. They're going to win their division.
You could be a 10-win team and miss the playoffs in the NFC.
Do the Niners make the, but
Niners, all the injuries, they get healthy.
So
NFC is tougher to do this with. The AFC's a lot really easy here. Like I go to the South, the Titans aren't making the playoffs. Colts aren't making the playoffs. I will tell you, if the Jags would have hired a coach I like better, I'd say the Jags make a big leap. I'm not a Liam Cohen guy, though.
Yeah.
Let's finish this up on the other side.
Yeah, we will. All right. Who's not making it? We'll see. We will do some J or nay. That's what we should have done is just have J or nay be like, will these teams make the playoffs?
I'll throw you some of those.
And then it would have
quick.
just been nothing but nays.
You know what? I'll adjust. I got some ideas now.
I want you to stick with what you have.
Here. I just thought of something.
Okay.
But all right, let's finish this up real quick.
Yeah.
Who you got in the your other one there?
All right,
You're in the NFC.
yeah, so other NFC teams that aren't going to make it. Seattle's not going to make it. Again, I've said Minnesota. I'd love to see the Giants. The Giants were 3-0 in the preseason because that matters.
Sure. Who had the best preseason record last year? Remember?
Sadly, Terry, I don't.
Neither do I. No one does.
Right.
No one does.
No, it doesn't matter. Giants aren't going to make the playoffs.
Nope. I'm with you.
But I think Dallas could. I think the Niners are going to get back.
I think the Niners get back.
Right?
I do. I think they get back.
But I think the Rams are the best team in that division.
See, I disagree with you. I think the Rams could be a team that gets left out.
Oh, okay.
Matthew Stafford, that back thing is a thing.
Yeah.
And I don't believe in Jimmy G because he'd get hurt too. Jimmy G get hurt walking on the field.
Oh, don't they have stuff? Just give Matt a shot of something.
They would never do that, Jay. That's not very safe.
Right? What is it? Cortisone shot.
Or whatever.
Yeah, or whatever. I don't know. Oh, my
man.
God, he's pulled his arms off. Just keep doing that.
That guy.
Again, if you know, you know.
Oh, man.
Remember when they were talking about that and like Kevin Nealon is the announcer?
So funny.
And he's reading the list. He's on methamphetamines, reds, greens, cocaine, steroids. He's like listing them all.
It was everything. It was so good.
It's something called the All Drug Olympics.
Yeah,
Go
it was
look
so
it up
good.
on Peacock or YouTube or something.
And when the arms come flying
and then
off.
Phil Hartman's trying to lift
It's a party.
like 2 tons or something.
So good.
That's great. But I love when Nealon, he's so serious about the way he's doing it, too.
Yep.
He's reading all the...
absolutely.
instead of like, his batting average is whatever, he's just reading off all these drugs. It's
It's classic.
don't do drugs, kids.
Not at all, especially then go lift weights.
Yeah, don't do
Not
drugs.
a good idea.
Don't do drugs.
All right, all right. In the AFC South, again, I think, look, I do believe the Texans are the best team in that division, but I'm going to tell you now, if Jacksonville gets their stuff together, they have a lot of talent. I just don't believe in. I don't believe in Liam Cohen. Not to be mean, I just don't.
The story for Jacksonville is the curiosity of Travis Hunter.
Mm-hmm.
But look, like the NFC South, I think somebody can be 9-8-ish and win that division, man.
I will say this: if Houston does take another step back this year, I could see Jacksonville being the team to make them very nervous.
Maybe, yeah. Colts are not there, and
The Titans are a
not
wreck.
there.
And in the West, I mean, the Broncos aren't making the playoffs, bro. Vegas, obviously. The Raiders, look, I think they're going to be a lot better and more competitive under Pete Carroll. I just don't think they're going to make the playoffs. It's just look at that division.
It's hard.
Look at that.
Broncos were 10-7 and did get in, so I'm looking for 11 or 12.
I think the Chargers, Broncos, and Chiefs rosters are all better easily than the Raiders.
Definitely.
So that's where I'm at.
Yeah. Because I could see almost the same scenario. Honestly, it's not going to surprise me at all if the same teams, other than maybe the winner of the South, are in the playoffs again this year in the AFC.
All right, I got your J and Nay here.
Okay,
You'll like
do it.
this.
Let's do it.
Bill Barnwell. I've been looking over this Bill Barnwell
Wait, I don't
thing.
get any music for this?
I don't know.
All right, I had too late for
Give me a
music.
second. Give me a second.
No, it's okay.
Always
It's
there,
okay.
man.
No, it's okay.
No. It's not the same without the music.
Well, I just
man.
I mean that's the whole highlight of my day is game show music for at least a minute or so. So that's all I care about.
Yeah, okay.
No,
I
it's
got
fine.
nothing
Don't worry.
right now. Okay, here we go. J or nay.
Okay.
And I'm going to go by Bill Barnwell, what he says about these playoff teams.
Okay.
Kansas City Chiefs win the AFC West.
J.
Buffalo Bills win the AFC East.
J.
Philadelphia Eagles win the NFC East.
J.
Baltimore Ravens win the AFC North.
J.
Lions are only a wild card team.
J.
Green Bay Packers win the NFC North.
J.
Houston Texans miss the playoffs by Bill Barnwell.
Nay. I think they'll I like the caveat you had if Jacksonville, but I don't have a lot of belief in that. So I'm going to stick with the Texans.
Bill Barnwell picks the Rams to miss the playoffs as well.
Yeah, I'm a nay on that one. I like the Rams.
I'll give you another one. Tampa Bay missing the playoffs, according to Bill Barnwell.
Well, does he have Atlanta winning that division?
Yes, Atlanta winning the
Okay,
division.
then I'll give him. I'll do that.
Watch this.
So-
Bill Barnwell, Vikings out of the playoffs.
Yeah, Jay. I think the Vikings are going to miss the playoffs, man.
Chargers a wild card team.
Reluctantly, Jay.
You'll love this one. The Broncos out of the playoffs.
Nay. Hell nay. Is that an answer?
I think we should change this to Hell Nay or Hell J. That was good.
Thank you.
Steelers, a wild card team.
Man, Terry Ford, I want to say Jay on that one, and nay. Again, Cincinnati's got to find a way to get a little bit better on defense. Baltimore's the class of the division. And Aaron Rodgers doesn't do enough for me, man, because.
Got one last one for you.
All right.
Washington Commanders, according to Bill Barnwell, missing the playoffs.
Nay, I think I love Jaden. I think they're going to be. They might not be as good as they might not be the story of last year. They'll be all right.
All right, here we go.
Headlines of the day coming up.
Kreger Showrooms, formerly The Nest in the Vista on Gadsden. Look, we've had this conversation. We've been there. You've seen the videos. The showroom's phenomenal. It's great. No matter what your budget is, what price points you're on, Kreger Showrooms will have what you're looking for when it comes to appliances, tubs, lighting, fixtures, plumbing. You can't sit here and say, that's not my budget. Everything, budget-wise, Kreger Showrooms can do for you. You just call 803-978-2025. You kind of give them an idea on the phone. You talk to one of the experts, 70 years of experience. Kind of give them an idea what you're looking for. They will have you come in. You'll meet. You'll look around. You'll tell your budget and your goals and your dreams and your wishes, and they'll make it happen for you. Again, Kreger Showrooms, formerly The Nest, 803-978-2025. Make that call. Go in. Make yourself happy. Kreger Showrooms. Quick check on the traffic. Get you updated on the roads, especially that overturned vehicle situation. Road is blocked. I-20 eastbound between exits 22 and 29 near the Aiken area. An overturned vehicle. It's a tanker, and again, that situation's still going on. Blythewood Road and Wilson Boulevard, an accident. Also, Buckner Road, Fairfield Road, Highway 60 at I-26, Divine Street near Woodrow Street. I-20 eastbound and US 1 exit 58. I-20 eastbound Spears Creek Church Road. I-20 westbound Broad River Road, Sunset Boulevard near Hope Ferry Road.
It is 5 o'clock news time here on a Wednesday. It's also the final hour of the postgame show. Alongside Terry Ford, I'm Jay Phillips. We appreciate you being with us wherever you might be. Gamecocks and SC State will do battle Saturday night at 7 o'clock at Williams-Brice Stadium. Gamecocks with a better than 99% chance to win the game, according to the ESPN computers. But nevertheless, you got to strap them up and to go play the ball game. Here's Shane Beamer previewing the Bulldogs.
And then looking forward to this Saturday night to be back home against a South Carolina State team that has so much tradition, so much pride in their program, and rightfully so, a team that's won multiple conference championships in recent years, played for the HBCU National Championship last year as well, and there's some great football that's being played in that conference and across the country as well, across the country. So they do a great job. I've got a lot of respect for Coach Barry. We actually invited him to come speak at our high school coaches clinic this spring here in Columbia, and did a great job. I sat there and took a lot of notes because I see his interviews on television, or I watch him somewhere on TV, and just his enthusiasm and his passion, it's impressive. And he's another great coach down there in Orangeburg, in a long line of great coaches that have been there, whether it be Coach Jeffries, Coach Pugh, two guys that I have a ton of respect for and are great human beings, and Coach Barry. I don't know him as well as Coach Jeffries and Coach Pugh, but they're very, very, very similar. Great coaches and great people. They've got a team with a lot of new transfers that are really good players that have made an immediate impact, and then some great returning players off last year's team that won a conference championship and had a heck of a year. So we know that we'll get their best shot on Saturday night. I know they're going to be excited about coming to Columbia and playing in a sold-out Williams-Brice Stadium, but our players are as well.
So there you go. Good stuff. Chennis Berry is a fantastic coach. What a record that he had while he was at Benedict. And I know so many people locally were basically saying this is a no-brainer when it's time for Coach Pugh to say goodbye to Orangeburg and to state football, that Coach Berry would be much like when it was Coach Pugh's turn. That's the thing. It's been such a wonderful, seamless series of handoffs, no pun intended, in that program. And I'll always echo what Shane said about Coach Jeffries and Coach Pugh. They are two of the finest human beings that I've ever met. And Chennis Berry is doing a great job with what the Bulldogs have. Listen, again, South Carolina is, for tons of obvious reasons, a very heavy favorite in this game. But I do believe they get a really good test, Terry, as you and I talked about earlier. What you asked me, what do I want to see out of this game? And I told you first and foremost is more consistency in the run game, not just pop a few big ones here or there, followed very closely by seeing Lenoris go through those progressions and continue to walk himself up, mentally speaking, to that fine line between when to throw, to whichever receiver, especially going through progression. So maybe third read, hot route, et cetera, when to throw it into the stands, which is a thing, and when to tuck and run so that he doesn't take as many sacks. And I think State's going to be a very active defense. What they do on offense, I'm not going to tell you. I don't know as much, but I think active defense is something, at least in the first half, that I think Carolina will see a lot of. And Coach Barry will certainly use this opportunity to get his guys better as they get into their conference slate here, which is an excellent conference. So I will freely admit, and those of you who listen to me routinely know, I would prefer, just being honest, not to have FCS games on Power 4 schedules.
Sure.
But at the same time, when you know you're going to get an opponent who's up for it, at least you know you're going to get a test. Because there are some times that you get games like this, Terry, where the opponent knows coming in, dude, we're just here to get the school paid.
Exactly.
And they don't care.
Well,
And I don't that will not be the case with South Carolina
was it
State.
last year? Was that Akron?
Akron.
And I love Joe Moorhead. Remember Joe Moorhead, the head coach at Akron, was like,
basically admitted it.
Dude, we got to pay for the equestrian team, so we got to come here and get our brains kicked in, and then pay for the equestrian crew. And that was a mentality, and you get in the game, and Akron got their brains beat in. And I've always been like this. There's a part of me that appreciates the honesty, but there's also, when you're a head coach, your job is motivation and culture. And if I get up and get in front of a microphone, and we've talked about how at press conferences, a lot of times you're talking to your team, right?
Yes.
You get up at a presser and go, I ain't going to lie to you, man. We're about to get curb stomped, but thank God we're going to get a check cut that we can pay for the equestrian team. If I'm sitting in the locker room, I'm like, oh, okay, coach.
Yeah. So
I just think, again, it's a mindset. Look, South Carolina State was going to come in here. It's a very proud program. And, look, you look at it in a lot of ways, it doesn't look good for them, but this isn't going to be, you're not going to hear this, well, we got to pay for the equestrian team, so hey, what the heck, let's show up and get a check. You're not going to get that mindset. That I'm pretty 100% sure on.
Agreed. 7 o'clock Saturday night. Again, ball game officially sold out. We'll have more from the coordinators and players all week long, looking ahead to Saturday's game. And a reminder, as I'm just sitting here looking at it, tomorrow night, 7 o'clock, the next edition of Carolina Calls with Shane and Todd Ellis. Continuing our integrated media, and we'll have more, by the way, from Shane and the players coming up in the Gamecock Notebook in just a few minutes, so sit tight for that. Meanwhile, moving on to our integrated media headlines of the day, two Vanderbilt football players, linebacker Langston Patterson and defensive lineman Issa Utara, have filed a class action lawsuit in federal court this week, claiming that the NCAA's eligibility rules are a violation of federal antitrust law. Obviously, now all of you know that the NCAA's current rules allow what we call 5 to play 4. You get a redshirt year if you so choose or your team chooses, and you have 4 seasons of full team eligibility. The attorney for these young men, a man named Ryan Downton, that'd be fun for all you English television folks, said in a news release that his clients, are not aiming to remove any eligibility restrictions, but they believe that they should simply be able to compete in games for each of those 5 years, not have a redshirt year. Quote, we're not challenging the 5-year limit. The question is, why do players have to spend one of those 5 years sitting on the bench? How does that further any of the NCAA's goal of moving players toward graduation? Both of these young men are seniors who have played in each of their 3 previous years and will be out of eligibility after the coming season. An NCAA statement has countered this for now. Again, we got a long way to go. Quote, the NCAA stands by its eligibility rules, including the 5-year rule, which enables student athletes to access the life-changing opportunity to be a student athlete. The NCAA is making changes to modernize college sports, but attempts to dismantle widely supported academic requirements can only be addressed by partnering with Congress, end quote. I disagree with that last point.
I do too, 100%.
But I get what these guys are asking for, Terry. I'm not sure that I personally, as a college sports fan, have arrived at how I feel about this specific case. Here's the thing. their attorney asks rhetorically, why do players have to spend one of those 5 years sitting on the bench? Well, they don't.
No.
First off, they don't. And look, redshirting has long primarily been a football thing.
Oh, yeah.
And in a lot of ways, because young bodies just aren't prepared. I mean, let's face it, all of us know the difference in 18 and 22.
It's a bit of a difference.
And so, look, some kids can do it, but especially, what we talk about Nebraska and all those used to do. I mean, hey, son, you're offensive lineman, defensive lineman, we're going to beef you up. You're not going to play this year. You're going to practice, and you're going to go to school, and you're going to eat, and you're going to lift weights, and all that, but you're not going to play. And people have been fine with it. So at the same time, well, if you're going to give them 5, why don't you let them play? Even if they're not going to play that much. And now they've softened. There used to be, you couldn't take a snap.
Right. Now you can play 4 games.
Yeah. So I feel like the NCAA has acquiesced to some degree in this. And there is chatter that they're thinking about removing this on their own.
Yep.
I kind of get both sides.
I do too, and that's why I think you just get together and make something happen.
But now that you can play in 3 or 4 games, is it 3 or
it's
4?
4 games.
4. So, I mean, that's not terrible.
Yeah,
you want to go to 6? You want to meet him in the middle somewhere?
It's so funny on this one. I'm like, it is 5. Just make it 5, and one less thing everybody's got to worry about, one less headache, one less red shirt,
mean a kid's going to really play that much more? I mean, again, are you going to put a 260-pound young offensive lineman out there anymore? When he's 260 pounds until he gets to be 290 pounds? Like, I don't think you are.
And that's what I think about this. It's almost like, is this really a fight? That's where I came out of this, because when you and I were talking about it earlier, my first thought was, look, it's 5 years. Just make it 5. Make it easy. Don't worry about all this red shirt stuff. One less thing you got to check a box, right? But then I thought to myself, the flip side is this really a thing to get up on? Because, again, if you're going to play, you're going to play. You just don't redshirt, right?
Right.
But if you are going to use your 5 years, typically you're redshirting a year in the non-COVID world,
and
right?
And the vast majority of coaches, and again, let's face it, redshirting. Like, I know you can do it in other sports, but it is absolutely primarily a football thing. Coaches are honest with kids when they're being recruited.
Let's use Dylan Stewart for an example, really quick. He's a perfect example of this for one side. Dylan Stewart's going to come in and play.
Yes.
And play right away.
Yes.
And if Dylan Stewart goes down the path we all think he's going, he doesn't care about year 4 and 5.
Correct.
Because my man's going to be in the NFL.
Correct.
Now, the flip side is like a Nick Barrett.
Yep.
Nick Barrett was redshirted last year to play.
And chose to redshirt late in his career.
Well, what if this? If you just, let's say the 5-year thing was a 5-year thing.
Yeah.
Nick, you're going to play a lot next year. Not going to play a whole lot this year. Probably not going to play much at all.
Right.
But trust me, year 5, you're going to play a ton.
Right.
What does Nick Barrett say? You're not being redshirted, but you're not going to play. But you can play if needed.
And that's why so many guys transfer these days when they're told in the exit meetings, like, "Hey, buddy, we appreciate you, but."
So as we're just workshopping this back and forth, does that stop guys from leaving if they're not being redshirted?
Maybe. And for Nick specifically, he's made mention. Look, I wanted to stay here.
Yes.
So, and that's cool. That in today's world where it's a lot easier to leave, that you want to stay wherever you might go to school is terrific.
So to that point, redshirted or not, Nick Barrett's going to stay.
Right.
So that 5-year thing we're talking about here doesn't really matter for him.
Right.
So I guess I'll go back to this one more time. How much on a scale of 1 to 10 does this really matter?
I don't know that it does. And like I said,
if I'm missing something, feel free to help me.
I'm trying to figure that out too. And like I say, I don't see this as some of the. Look, a lot of people. Oh, it's pro sports now, but where does it stop? I suppose would be a thing. Well, hey, why do you have any eligibility requirement? And how many football coaches really want a guy to stay a 6th or 7th year? Because look, to your point, the great ones, I don't know how many of these guys really want to just keep playing it. Maybe some do. Don't get me wrong, but then how does that hamper your recruiting? If some kid is going to say, "Man, that guy's been there 7 years,"
Yeah.
I'm not going to crack that line up. I don't know. And what about other sports? I don't
And
know.
does it matter if you say, okay, the scholarship's 5 years anyway, screw the red shirt stuff, you just hear, you got 5.
Yeah.
Does that even matter in the bigger picture? Yes, no?
Well, this comes back, Terry. If you collectively bargain the amount of time that one can spend.
I say it all the time, man.
Because otherwise, I don't see, I really, all I see here, let's just say these guys are successful or not. All I see later is, I want to play 6 years. I want to play 7 years.
They're boys from JUCO.
You know, I want to go through all of my graduate school on the school's dime and keep playing sports. That's our integrated media headlines of the day. The Gamecock Notebook is next. 20 minutes after 5 o'clock, time for our Gamecock Notebook on this Wednesday. Jay Phillips, Terry Ford with you. Gamecock coordinators speaking today. Again, tomorrow night, Shane Beamer back on Carolina Calls. But we got a couple of minutes here from Mike Shula, and I believe you'll hear the dulcet tones of one David Cloninger to get a couple of minutes here.
When I think of Cloninger's voice, I think dulcet.
Yeah, dulcet. Don't you? Well, I'm going to know David a long time. So and Dave has no cynical Braves comments in this. This is only about Gamecock football.
4 years of knowing Dave, I always think dulcet.
Sure.
Dulcet tones.
The dulcet tones.
All right, here's Cloninger to start this whole thing off with Mike Shula.
Mike, after having a chance to look back and cut up the film and everything, how did you think the overall offense played, and specifically the offensive line? How do you think they did?
Well, I think kind of about what you saw out there. I mean, there was some really good things at times, and some things that weren't as good. The good things were, I'm sure, as Shane has probably talked about, we got off to a good start. Stayed out of the third downs and in that first drive, except for the last one. The negative plays are what kill you on offense. And that's what we preach about it. And even if you kind of get a little momentum, and then all of a sudden you have a negative play, then it kind of just stalls, and you're kind of you're playing behind the sticks. And so we got to avoid that. Try to avoid that much more than we did the other day. After the good start, we kind of fell into that a little bit. But I was proud of the way the guys just kind of continued to stay focused, stay dialed in. That's hard when things, the emotions of the game, how the way your feelings go after a drive when you score and then you come back and you go 3 and out, or you have a negative play or whatever, take a safety or whatever it is. You just got to kind of, and they did a good job with that. Now, it wasn't perfect by any means, but, overall, obviously it's good to win, and, it's all about winning and getting better. And that's kind of been the theme for today. And the offensive line was probably a microcosm of what I just talked about.
Mike Shula on earlier today.
With Norris, what was sort of your talking points, or what were your talking points with him coming off the field after the safety?
Yeah, same thing. After the safety? Yes. Oh, I thought you said after the game. Yeah, I mean, just obviously, our number one goal is to get a first down, and the worst thing that can happen is take a safety. So we got to be better there, and all of us can be better offensively, coaching, me, and all of us. And so, yeah, I mean, it's but learn from it is the main thing. Hey, and once something like that happens, whether or not it's a safety, a negative play, a turn, whatever, you got to figure out what happened, why it happened, and then move on. And just it's in the past. There's nothing you can do about it. Go on and stay focused. And these are things we're going to talk about for the next drive moving forward.
Yeah, I think
Mike, the tight ends.
Sorry. All right, we'll have more for Mike a little bit later on. Terry, let's go backwards. I mentioned to you earlier, one of the big things that I think we all want to see, Lenoris wants to see, and Mike wants to see, and Shane wants to see, and everybody associated with Carolina football wants to see, is just as Lenoris take those next steps. I think that safety's on Lenoris.
I do too.
Lenoris knows it's on Lenoris. Mm-hmm. But I'm not going to fault Lenoris for wanting to do the things that Lenoris needs to do. Now, look, that you can't say it could have been worse, because a safety's a safety.
I mean, all right, he fumbles and they get a touchdown.
That's about it, right? They could have knocked you. Well, okay,
That's about it, right?
Yeah, but in that respect, I know what he was trying to do, and I defend it, because that was a big mistake.
Right, and there's things there, like you said, you got to get rid of that ball, and whether it's you go through progressions faster, because, again, you have a guy open in the right flat, you never got to.
Just didn't see him.
So process it faster,
right.
And, understand that there are times, as much as you want to be able to process the field and go through your different progressions, you're in the end zone. You know what I mean? You're in the end zone, so your sense of urgency is a little bit quicker, and your internal clock's got to be a little bit quicker. And maybe that's the place where you go, you know what, I've gone through a progression or two, I got to get the bleep out of here. And the interesting part, we were talking about this morning, Elijah Preston and I, or yesterday morning, when he goes to take off, Jay, he runs right into it.
Yeah.
Once he decided to make that decision that it wasn't there and I got to go, he ran right into the mess. And it was sort of like, okay, I've looked, I got to go, oh God.
Right.
Everybody's here. So, yeah, the moral of the story is just get the ball out quick. And you can't take the safety. process. Even if you have to dirt it in front of a receiver's feet, just get it out, man. You can't take a safety there, or God forbid, worse, you get hit. There's a fumble, and all of a sudden you give up 6.
Yeah.
And then look, it's a learning. Like Mike Schul said, it's a learning moment. You learn and you move forward, because that way. And the thing with Lenore Sellers, we watched it last year. He learns as it goes along, right? We saw it in full bloom.
Yeah.
In 24.
Yeah.
So
you saw terrific progression.
Yes.
And there's still plenty of progression left to make, and so there's that part of it. But so those are some of the things, like I said, that it's hard to gauge how much more you learn about yourself and the situations around you against an FCS opponent. But there are things that you can do, and your confidence can grow, and the some of the things can slow your processing.
That's the one right there is the C word.
Yeah.
And I'll go back to the offensive line. And you asked me yesterday how concerned I was. I can't get super concerned after week 1 because I won't lie to you. I remember a couple years ago that North Carolina game. Mm-hmm. Remember we convened here that next day and we talked and oh my God, they're in trouble.
Yeah.
That offensive line just got run over. That didn't happen Sunday, right? You saw some good moments, some not so good moments. They were better in pass protection and run blocking. We went over the grades and everything. I can't get concerned after 1 week because you saw some things you liked, right? But what you want is that offensive line to go out on Saturday, and God love you, South Carolina State. We'll hug you later. You want to run over these dudes, right?
Yeah.
You want your offensive line, it's like the movie Blindside, throwing guys in dumpsters. You want to manhandle them to where your offensive linemen walk off the field Saturday and go like this. How about me?
Yeah.
How about me? And that's what you want out of this game. Forget the opponent. I've said this like when you pitched, when you were young and back in the 40s.
Back in the day. It was the 50s. But yeah.
Let's say you threw a complete game 3 hitter.
Okay.
Let's say that team wasn't very good.
Yeah.
Did you walk off the field and first thing was, they kind of sucked? No, you know what you did? See what you felt good about you, right?
Yeah.
You threw a 3-hit shutout. You didn't go, but those guys stunk.
Yeah.
No, you know what you did? I threw well. I'm going to take that process of what I just did, and I'm taking it to the next start and the next start. And that's what you go out there and you pummel these cats, right, with your offensive line. And then your offensive lineman hopefully get a little puffy chest to go into the next game against Vandy, if my memory serves me. And that's really what this is about, giving certain aspects of this team confidence, to me.
You make it sound like every game I pitched wasn't a 3-hit shutout.
Yeah, I looked it up, dude.
I remember one time Ben Lippin rocked me in the first inning for like 5, and then I pitched like one of the best. I didn't allow a run the rest of the game, man. And I went all 7, but they killed me in the first inning, and then I was like, this like why didn't I? How did I start? I was like Tom Glavine.
Well, that's what you do. You walk off going, why couldn't I do that?
Like,
in
why
the
didn't
first
I do that in the
inning?
first?
What's the deal? That's the worst feeling in sports.
I think we ended up winning, but I was like, man, that was terrible. And I was like, how did I get taken out? Anyway.
But you know what you do, though? You remember the second inning on and go, man, I was cooking.
Yeah.
And then you go like this. Why
I was
did
mad.
The first
I tell you
inning?
what I was. I remember I was
heck?
mad.
But that's just kind of.
And that's how these guys, sometimes you're like, man, I didn't do that right. And be mad at yourself almost, to not make it about me. But, how athletes are. Like, you sometimes have to challenge yourself.
Yeah, or you have that terrible beginning, and then all of a sudden everything kicks in.
I'm the only one that can fix it.
Yeah, and I got to go fix it.
That's what it's got to be. I got to fix it.
And you can't fix what just happened.
Right.
You always got to remember that's cliche
No,
as it
in
is,
all
right?
seriousness, that's it. Like, only I can go fix that.
Right.
Yeah, so that's how that goes. That's our Gamecock Notebook. I want to get a couple more on the other side from a couple of Gamecock players. And, again, looking ahead to more of this week's action in the Southeastern Conference. Drive Around the SEC is next. AAA Heating and Air has extended their fantastic offer for customers and families across the Midlands of South Carolina. Now till the end of the year, you can take advantage of this opportunity from Roy and Dana Finley and their crew at AAA. It starts with guaranteed financing, no payments or interest for a full year when you buy the system, $1,500 system buyback rebate, 15-year parts and labor guarantee. We got one more big heat wave coming, it feels like, and then maybe, fingers crossed, we're out of the woods of the hot weather for a while. Now could be a great time for you to not be disrupted by getting a new system put in. Because, listen, in the summer, if it just, conks out, well, you got to get it done, right? But right now, while it's a little cool at night, take advantage. Call 803-677-1500 and let AAA come into your home. Do what they've done for me. Many of your friends and neighbors, keep you nice and comfortable for years to come. 803-677-1500. Tell them we sent you to AAA Heating and Air.
Still having that situation in Aiken, I-20 eastbound between US 1 and Wire Road. Road blocked due to an overturned vehicle, a tanker. So we'll keep updating and refreshing to see if we can get you current info on that, but that's the latest. Forum Drive at Town Center Place, there's an accident. Also, I-20 eastbound Wilson Boulevard, exit 71. I-20 eastbound at Spears Creek Church Road, accident. Also, I-20 Broad River Road at exit 65. Park Lane Road at Highway 277, Sparkleberry Lane near Two Notch. I-20 eastbound at 277 as well. We'll jump back in here, a drive around the SEC here on the Postgame Show.
I like it. See, I could do this all day, man. We missed it earlier. That's
why I had to.
I know. No, you had to get it in. And you know what?
Get a little...
I just felt a wave of completeness come through me.
Makes the day, doesn't it?
Yeah. Now
Absolutely.
I'm good. In fact, you know what, Tara? The rest of the show is yours, man. I'm out.
I say we just do this.
I'm going to go play pinball.
I'm going to go hit the grabber.
If you missed it
say
earlier.
it like that, should I? That sounded a little weird.
I threw it out. We have the claw.
The claw, thank you.
We have a brand new Avengers pinball machine here at the station. And we are debating, well, I am debating whether or not people above our pay grade have done this to see how much time we waste relative to how well we resist temptation.
We're radio people.
So far, I have scored about 5 million points.
Well, it's funny.
So I'm not at all resisting temptation.
You know, Jalen is starting with us, Jalen Tart.
Yeah.
And Jalen was in here, you know, and Jalen, I think he came in, he's kind of looking at the board in here in the producer studio, and we're talking about this or whatever. And he had to leave, right? He's like, I got to get rolling, okay? And all of a sudden, I'm hearing the flippers.
Got to play.
Got to play, man.
It's free.
Exactly. Doesn't cost anything.
Because nobody carries quarters anymore, do they?
What's a quarter?
It's a little coin. It's got.
I can't remember the last time I actually had
a
change.
president on it.
Wow, a quarter.
I can't remember what president.
I can't remember change.
I think it's Millard Fillmore.
Could be. I was thinking Taft.
It could be Taft. Why isn't Taft on more money?
He got so ripped off, didn't
Let's
he?
do the drive around the SEC before we, I don't think Kalen DeBoer's face is going to be on any coinage down in Alabama anytime soon, but he still believes that he has a good football team. I believe that too, Kalen. I seriously do. He said in his press conference, quote, "My message is that our team is good. I think we have a good football team that can do some big things this year. We've got to prove it. We've got to go do it." And he says to this point, it's been just me being able to focus on football, and I appreciate that.
What else are you going to say?
Nothing. Nothing. I mean, you're not going to say we stink, and they don't. And that's why, to go back to blend the fun with the serious, yesterday we had start bench drop of the biggest disappointments of the weekend, and it was Alabama, it was Bill Belichick, and it was Arch Manning. And you and I both, and I think a lot of people did, not everybody, but a lot of people, the biggest disappointment's Alabama, if for no other reason that Alabama is loaded with talent. Loaded with talent. And they can't look that bad. They didn't look unprepared. I think you and I agreed, maybe with different words, they looked uninspired.
It looked like they figured they were going to walk on the field. Florida State was going to pull the Wayne's World to Alice Cooper.
Right.
We are not worthy for 4 quarters. And Alabama would walk off the field. A couple guys might have broke a sweat. Nobody's jersey would be dirty. And these cats would go roll downtown Tallahassee and go have something to eat. And then when Florida State rolled up their sleeves and popped them in the throat, Alabama just went, huh? And I just felt like, for some reason, Jay, they didn't expect a fight, and when they got a fight, they just kind of rolled over. And it was weird.
Yeah, it was. And they almost caught up, and they didn't. And I thought Ty Simpson was good when he was throwing the football. There were times when he was, as you mentioned, kind of running for his life, and Alabama could never establish the run game. And a lot of that is I know coaches love to say it a lot. It's toughness, and Bama's got dudes, and there's dudes on, because listen, not only did Alabama not run the ball effectively, they didn't stop the run on the other side, and there are dudes on both of those lines that will make a lot of money at the next level. I still question. Listen, DeBoer doesn't get off the hook.
No,
but I still question upperclassmen leadership as well.
Oh yeah,
to say, fellas. Because there's guys that are still on that team that Nick Saban recruited and that they even played under Nick Saban.
That's what I want to go to. I'm glad you brought that up. Nice lead. Thank you, sir. All right.
That's what I'm here for.
We know Nick was a no-nonsense head coach. Nick believed in old-school fundamentals. Nick could get in your grill. Nick had no problem with that. And, Nick was intense. Kalen DeBoer, all we hear about, more of a player's coach, more of a player's staff, the reins have been loosened up. Well, maybe that's a bad thing. Maybe guys who are used to playing for Nick, now it's almost happy fun time compared to playing for Nick. like the substitute teacher showing up at the high school.
Right.
And maybe the loosening of the reins, and maybe, I'm not saying this happened on purpose, but you know how this goes, Jay.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe these guys with the reins loosened up a little bit have gotten looser than they even know they've gotten. Exactly. And maybe that's what we're seeing.
Because you really don't get to breathe under Nick's head.
No, Nick don't want you breathing.
Right.
Nick rat poison.
Right.
I mean, you said this yesterday. They guzzled rat poison last week.
Yeah.
And I just think that might be as simple as that, is we're seeing a team with the substitute teacher showed up, and they're all kind of exhaling, and they got to inhale again.
But I also asked today, more tongue-in-cheek than serious, is Alabama now in day 4 of Dan Lanning watch? To some fans, Kalen DeBoer era is already over. It just hasn't ended, if that makes sense.
Oh, they got GoFundMe pages popping up everywhere for the buyout.
Yeah, and I know that's a bit of an oxymoron, but I'm just saying that to them, it's like, well, who's our next coach?
Mm-hmm.
And listen, Bama's on the hook for tons of money. So even mighty Alabama doesn't have the resources of several of its SEC brethren. And they have to be really careful with that, especially if you are going to go lure someone like a Dan Lanning. And I don't want to go too far with this, but that's the feeling right now. Look, they're going to beat, like we said it yesterday, they're going to beat Monroe.
Sure.
And they should, with their talent, beat Wisconsin. Then we'll begin to see who they are, because then they have a week off and then they go to Athens. And at that point, it's going to be an interesting situation in terms of exactly what Alabama looks like and how they measure themselves.
Well, think about this. Okay, so, and you start off 0-1. Alabama could win. They could get their crap together and win.
They can go 11-1.
7 straight, 8 straight, because they're that talented.
They can.
They're that talented.
They won't, but they can.
So I don't think they will either. But all right, so
because I think Georgia's going to.
Let's think this thing continues on down, spiraling, and God forbid another 9-3 shows up, or 8-4 even. Yeah. You've got a real dilemma. You got 70 million reasons you might want to bring Kalen DeBoer back for a third year. Plus, you're in this thing called rev share, where every dollar counts, right? And if you're going to go ask a bunch of big money folks with deep pockets to help you buy out the head coach that didn't work, those pockets only go so deep, and you're still in a collective world where you can still pay money.
And that's what I'm saying. Even mighty Alabama.
That's
why you and I talk about the demographics of the state of Alabama are just like the demographics of the state of South Carolina. There's only so much to go around.
So, I mean, it almost feels like Kalen DeBoer from default gets 3 years.
I think you almost have to.
Almost feels like that.
And again, it's weird to think that 9-3 is going to be a disappointment, but I think they're staring at
I'm going to throw you something. I think Dan Lanning is the one everyone would look at, and I agree with your premise. But let's just take a second. Kalen DeBoer's Washington team played for a national championship.
Yeah.
Dan Lanning hasn't sniffed a national championship at all.
No, and he won the Big Ten last year.
And then got trucked by Ohio State in the college football playoff.
They were mad.
You think? They were in a bad mood.
They were mad.
So, I mean, my thing is, look, the surface of what Dan Lanning has done, you go, yeah, this guy.
Uh-huh.
But to be fair, this guy hasn't achieved what the guy who there has achieved.
I think there's only a handful, and you and I mentioned earlier, and again, I don't want to take this too far, but it's not James Franklin. No. It's not going to be Sark.
No.
Kirby's certainly not going to leave Georgia.
No.
I think, and we talked about Dabo. If Dabo really wanted the job, then he would be the coach at Alabama today. And I don't, as much as he loves his school and his home state.
I think he's built his thing.
He's fine.
Yeah.
And now he's not leaving. Listen, Clemson has its own set of pressures. And look, I could be wrong. Maybe Dabo, maybe this time around he will. You know what? I just didn't want to follow Nick. I doubt that's the case.
You know what I think with Dabo? Not to say this, but if this year goes as well as they hope it's going to go, and they end up being a real factor, I mean, you got everything you have.
Yeah,
at
why
Clemson.
leave? No, you. I used to always say the only job that Dabo should leave for, if it were to open and be offered to him, would be Texas, because I think he could handle that. But I wouldn't go back to Alabama.
Yeah, I mean.
Otherwise, you've built Clemson into what it is. But Kalen DeBoer says we're going to be fine.
Everybody feels better now.
We'll see. That's the drive around the SEC. We'll wrap up start bench drop with our own choices right for this. Internet is winning. Welcome back in. Final few minutes of the postgame show here on a Wednesday afternoon. Tomorrow on the program in the 3 o'clock hour, our good friend Lulu Keston will join us on the beat for the Greenville News covering the Gamecocks. Looking forward to talking with Lulu. And Friday, looking forward to seeing many of you come have a beer with us, or even buy us a beer if you want to.
I think that's a good idea. We're okay with that if you want to buy.
We'll be with our friends at Columbia Craft. Looking forward to that. Maz and the crew down there. I can get some little nostalgia goggles. I'm very excited about that.
There you go.
Those aren't things I wear, by the way. That's a beer I drink. But that's the name of the beer.
Because nostalgia goggles sounds like something totally different in my neck of the woods.
I don't really want to know what that actually might be in your neck of the woods. Start, bench, drop before we get into. You want to do which one do you want to do first?
Let's knock out the start, bench, drop really quick.
All right, start, bench, drop today was some of the positives nationally in college football.
Go for it.
We asked you to start, bench, drop Florida State's win, Miami's win, Texas Christian's win. I'm going to start Texas Christian.
You know what? I agree. I'm with you.
I know yesterday again, kind of a reverse that we would have started maybe Florida State because we had Alabama yesterday as the worst. But I just think the way TCU, look, Sonny Dykes and his ball club took everything personally. Monday night was nothing more in their minds, and really in mine, than a big giant, yay, Bill Belichick is coaching in Chapel Hill.
Oh, you didn't know who North Carolina was playing.
You didn't.
And that's why I'm putting this one at start.
Yeah.
Because the way ESPN handled that broadcast was embarrassing.
Yeah. And Sonny Dykes didn't say, hold my beer. He said, hold my brewery.
I give them so much credit. Because remember, people forget something. Sonny Dykes, they were the first team to play against Dion's Colorado team. Remember, they lost coming off the national championship game.
Yep.
So Sonny's been through that rodeo before. TCU was prepared, a 9-win team who's favored, and ESPN acted like they were some middle school squad.
Yeah, if they even did that. Again, like you said, wait, is North Carolina, is this like a scrimmage?
Yeah, I'm with you on TCU.
I'll bench Florida State.
Yep.
And I will drop the Canes. That was a good game, man. So
it was a nice win, but it was at home.
Yeah.
And look, we don't know. I mean, we think Notre Dame's going to be good, and Notre Dame showed you something coming back the way they did.
Right.
But out of the 3 wins, obviously Florida State doing what they did to Alabama, and then TCU, like we said, being disrespected not just by their opponent, by a whole TV network.
Yeah.
Not just won that game, but
I wonder real quick if there was the post-production meeting, if somebody around ESPN, especially guys like Reese Davis, said maybe we should have done a better job of talking about the opponent. Maybe they didn't. I don't know.
Well, don't you think, to your point, at some level here, while you're doing this whole pom-pom cheerleading thing for Bill, doesn't somebody go, wait a minute, aren't we supposed to have some kind of integrity in our broadcast?
This is a game. Yeah, we have a contest.
And we have another team to talk about?
There's another contestant, if you will. So
I'm with you, man.
Speaking of contestants, I guess I'm one.
Oh,
so
here we go, Bob.
Let's do this. I got a few. Well, I'll just do this, and then I'm going to read a few more.
By the way, you did win yesterday.
Sweet.
You're 2 under. Congratulations.
Oh, good. We're getting there.
Today, Tampa Rays have won 5 straight. They're home against Seattle. Adrian Hauser taking the ball at 2.08 home ERA. George Kirby of the Mariners, a road ERA of almost 5. Do the Rays make it 6 in a row?
No.
Okay. Total bases.
Cal Raleigh's going to hit a home run into Tampa Bay tonight.
Into the Bay?
Into the Bay.
Into the Bay. Your favorite team, the Phillies, against the Brewers.
Love the Phillies. Big fan.
In Milwaukee. Total base competition. Christian Yelich at home.
Yeah.
His OPS is 754.
Okay.
Your favorite player, Bryce Harper. His road OPS is 767. Total bases. Who gets more, Yelich or Harper?
Yelich.
That's objective totally, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Big. I like Bryce Harper, too. I'm a big fan.
I know you are.
Big fan.
All right. Blue Jays at the Reds. Okay. Home ERA. For the Reds, 11th in the majors. The Blue Jays have the second best road ERA in the majors.
Ooh.
Over/under runs scored, 8.5.
Under.
Under. All right, so you're going under on the over/under on runs scored. Total bases, Christian Yelich, totally objective over Bryce Harper, and the Rays do not win their 6th straight.
Correct. I like all of those. Yes. Feel very confident. How much money should I lose? Luckily, I put all my money today in the pinball machine.
Who is your least favorite movie character of all time?
Least favorite movie character of all time. Man, you put me on the spot on that one. Wow. Who was Bill? No. No. Can I come back to you on that?
I was going to say this. Would you take your least favorite movie character of all time versus Bryce Harper?
Was it Weird Science with the brother Chet?
Okay, would you take Chet over Bryce Harper?
Yeah. I don't like Bryce Harper, man. Not even a little bit. Not even a little bit. We'll see y'all tomorrow.
CHW Cabinetry. Star and her crew will go from beginning to end to help you, no matter where you want to put cabinets in the home now, to help you get it done and be happy with it. CHW Cabinetry does these wonderful photo renderings. We'll show you exactly what's going on from beginning to end. They'll do everything but build them. They even make Jen Jensen happy at CHW Cabinetry. And they can make you happy too. Look, it's very simple. All you got to do is reach out to the folks at CHW Cabinetry. Tell them what you want to do, how you want to do it, things of that nature. And they'll make it happen for you. 803-520-6837. Give Star and the folks there a call at CHW Cabinetry and get those cabinets put in anywhere in the house.